you could have made up ground on the Astros. You didn't. It was just a no good, very bad road trip. Entering into this one, you went, well, hang on a minute. You aren't playing the Phillies on this road trip. You weren't even playing the Mets on this road trip. You're going to be facing the Guardians, and then after that, you got two opponents in the Rays and Braves that are pretty much playing for nothing. They're kind of out of this thing. They're very average across the board in several categories, with the exception of having, like, you know, a good hitter here and there, a solid pitcher here and there. But these are beatable opponents, and the Mariners did not beat them. And you and I have not just been talking about whether or not their playoff odds are shrinking for us. I mean, mathematically, sure, they are, but they are still more likely than not to make the playoffs. I don't think a lot of Mariners fans feel that way right now.
No, they're feeling a little shook right now, and I think you should. You're looking at your team struggle a little bit, and you're waiting to see what's going to happen. All right, when you have kids, you're going to get a dog soon, right? When you have kids, you're watching them about to make a mistake, right? I used the stove reference yesterday. Watching my son walk over to that stove. I told him, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Yet he's walking over, and he's about to touch it. He's about to touch it. That's what it feels like. The Mariners are in this September, like, lull that they get in, and you feel like it's going to happen, and you're watching it go down. You're hoping that they'll get to the stove and then turn around and be like, you know what, actually, let's lock it in and let's focus.
Don't touch the stove.
Don't touch the dang stove.
You've done this 3 times.
You've done it already. You've learned from this, right? The worst part about this whole thing is that I looked at who they are offensively on the road. On the road, the Mariners, they hit more home runs, have more RBIs, their slash is better as a team, more extra base hits. Offensively, they're actually okay on the road. You see that 10-2 loss, obviously you're like, Bump, what are you talking about? This is over 40-something games that we're in. Then you look at the pitching, the opposite. The opposing team slash is better. They had less Ks on the road. So what is the issue with this team right now? You lose 6-5, and you battle back-to-back home runs. You get back in the game. Mitch Garver gets pinched hit. I go, what are you doing? And then he hits a sac fly. Good job.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Exactly. And you're like, what is the issue? It comes down to the pitching. It's the bullpen giving stuff up. It's your starters not looking great. It is the road. Offensively, they're okay on the road. It's the pitching that's jacking things up right now. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. They're approaching the stove, and I'm hoping they turn around fairly quickly.
Here's what's interesting about that answer, too. I 1,000% agree with you. You have the stats to back it up. It's the pitching is really the biggest problem. I know that you can look at it and you can go, oh, Cal left 5 runners stranded. I don't care. Cal's got 51 home runs this year. Cal is not the reason that this team is facing the potential of missing the playoffs by a game again. But the pitching, even more isolated when you turn it to, is it a question of not having enough talent, or is it a question of not having the execution, players not doing it? It's players. And that's what makes this year feel a little bit different to me. The Mariners' biggest problem right now, on September 3rd, is not in the front office. The Mariners' biggest problem right now is in the clubhouse, and it's player execution. This is what Brian Wu said after the game.
You just got to take accountability for it. I mean, at this point of the year, you can make all the excuses you want. You just got to play better. You got to be better. You got to have more urgency. I think all the guys in the locker room, especially the guys that have been here the last couple of years, are sick and tired of the last couple of years of what have happened in August and September, and it's up to us to flip the script and do something about it. That's all it really comes down to. There's times that we've played good baseball and we know we're capable of it. This is about as talented a team I think as anybody has ever seen here in the last couple of years. But I mean, no one's going to give us any wins. We got to go out there and take it.
Cal Raleigh, echoing that, asked if there's anything that stood out as a reason for their struggles.
I don't really have an answer. Just not playing well. Not playing good baseball on the road. That's pretty much plain and simple. Don't really have much after that. Yeah.
Both sound incredibly frustrated, a little bit confused, and just stumped. And quite frankly, I think fans feel that too, Bump, because This is an execution thing, and that's when it becomes most frustrating as fans and, frankly, as players, I'm sure. When you're looking at the team going, you have 6 players that have 20 or more home runs this year. You got 2 guys that could be, 30-30 players or 35-30. You've got, on paper, a really good pitching staff. I know that they haven't been that this year. I understand that. But if you were to construct a Mariners team and say, I think this team has a pretty good shot of making the playoffs in a year where the Astros just can't also get out of their own way, it would be this team. And you're losing ground.
Execution. The front office has done exactly what they're supposed to do. We would have liked them to add like a better arm, but okay. You had, going into the season, one of the best rotations. You added Josh Naylor and Gino. Julio is playing some good ball right now. Cal's having a season of his life. No, there's reason to be disappointed that this team has lost 2 to the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Rays are average when it comes to a lot of those stats. They're a team that can get after you. You got out you forced Rasmussen to get out there. He goes 5 innings, did good against him, battled. Once they got through him, I'm thinking, okay, we got a shot here, right? You battled back. Rasmussen, man, has been balling this year. And it comes down to the players. Yes, it comes down to the players. During headlines, I have another take that I think should be a factor into this whole thing, but you had the team to win ball games. Players have to execute, do better on the road. Offensively, they're decent on the road. Right now, I'm just looking at the arms. Y'all got to step it up.
Is JP's comment part of Get Off My Lawn at all?
No.
Okay. Someone said, JP Crawford said they just roll over and give up. I do want to clarify the quote that JP actually said. From Ryan Divish, J.P. Crawford says, it's not a lack of focus. It's not a lack of work. This is the hardest working group of men I've been around ever in my career. It's not any of that. It's just sometimes when we get knocked down in the fight, we stay down, and we can't have that right now. I don't think this is J.P. Crawford saying these guys roll over and give up. I also don't think that that's always the case. Bump, you fairly pointed out that there have been a couple games this year when they've come from behind, when they've won when you didn't think they would. We were just talking 2 weeks ago at T-Mobile. Man, I don't know if last year's team or the year before win this game, and I forget exactly what the game was.
Yeah.
But that they kind of worked their way back into that. I do, though, think it's notable anytime a prominent player, a captain on a team, says something like, when we get knocked down in the fight, sometimes we stay down, and we can't have that. That's notable.
It is notable. What does that look like? You're scared to swing out a pitch? Right, what is it?
Careful, maybe.
What does it look like in baseball? Because you swing at good pitches, you don't swing at the bad ones. It's not like you can run through another human being and change the game. It has to be a feel in that dugout. He has to feel it in the dugout.
All right, coming up next, if this report is true, I'm very, very, very disappointed in Seahawks fans.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing, mention you heard it from me, and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Summer can be the best time of the year, but if it's not feeling good in your house, if it's turning into an oven, some of the problems might be because you don't have enough insulation in your crawl space or attic. In fact, many homes in our region have damaged insulation or even none at all. Yeah, it's Mike Salk here, and you got to get somebody to check on it. That's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and do a full corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. And if it turns out that you've got a problem with your insulation, and maybe that's leading to bigger energy bills, guess what? Local utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of getting your house properly insulated. In fact, if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get your attic properly insulated. Yep, 95%. Call Crawl Pros if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Paid for by Hanson Hers Health. Hanson Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At forhers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/radio. forhers.com/radio.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners held a closed-door meeting ahead of last night's game against the Rays. What's the real headline?
I'm surprised they could close the doors after the Rays blew them off.
That presents a problem.
I know that was primarily from that first game, 10-2 or whatever it ended up being. Last night's was brought a little bit closer, but this series has been absolutely awful. And I know that a team meeting isn't guaranteed, but I'm sure you've had team meetings before and then you guys have lost and it's like, okay, well, we were trying to get here. We tried. So it doesn't guarantee something, but I think, I don't know, maybe another team meeting is needed if there's a memo that you just got to power through with. I don't know.
I want controversy. I want guys getting mad at each other. I want JP standing up and calling fools out. I want Cal to say something. I want Dan to do something that he doesn't do. I want him to go to the media and apply some pressure and call guys out. Dan's the nicest guy in the world, and the players love Dan. But me growing up, a Laker fan, Phil Jackson used to call dudes out all the time through the media. Not even harshly, but just put it out there. So go ahead and do that. Bruce Arians used to do it. Dusty Baker has done it. Let's go old school. Billy Martin with the Yankees used to do it. They need something. And what can Dan do? All he can do is set the lineup, bring the pitchers in when he sees fit, but apply some public pressure. I'm all for these team meetings behind closed doors. Okay, that happens all the time. Do something different because you only got 23 games left. You can't sit Randy. You can't sit Cal. You can't give guys breaks anymore. It is time to win. You got lucky yesterday that everybody and mama lost. Do something different, Dan. I'm begging you. Call somebody out publicly. Put some pressure on.
I'd be curious to know who needs to get called out because when I look at this team, some of the players that I think are vital to any kind of playoff run, JP, Cal, are kind of in slumps. You know, I know Cal just got home run number 51. JP has, I think, his best average in several years, but it's not been a perfect season for JP, and Cal obviously has kind of struggled since July. So it's like, I would imagine, you can kind of hear it in Cal's voice in the audio, I would imagine there's a lot of frustration with themselves just as much as there is with looking around the clubhouse going, come on, guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be frustrating, too, is knowing that you're not getting it done, and then you see comments saying, like, oh, this guy's swinging for the fences. I don't think players are just selling all out for a home run. I think that you're selling out for hitting a line drive on what you think is your pitch is what you're doing.
Oh, that sounds good. Call somebody out, man. Do something different. Get some grit. This team feels too nice right now. Have Josh get in front of the team and say something. Have some urgency. 10-2, 6-5, Stacy.
Hear me out.
We got lucky yesterday.
Hear me out. Start a fight.
I don't know about fights.
No, listen.
I don't know, like with the other team or with each other?
No, not with each other. Do not start a fight with each other. But
other team are with that.
We need to figure out how to initiate a benches clearing brawl. Guys, this worked once. I know it sounds crazy, but this worked once.
It's true. They made the playoffs the year they did that.
I'm just saying.
The tough part about this situation too is that the thing that has kept you relevant the last 3 years is the thing that's struggling right now, which are the arms. Right? So it's almost like, yeah, you want to call those dudes out, but you're also like, we're thankful to have you guys because we wouldn't even be relevant over the past 2 to 3 seasons if you didn't do what you do. I don't feel good about this. I said yesterday, you better come in here with different energy if them boys lost last night. And I think you have. I think there's a little more urgency. I'm just not feeling too good about the squad right now.
Hear me out again. The pitchers need to fight.
No, pitchers never throw hands. Just like quarterbacks, we need those hands intact.
Fight.
Fight.
I'm in the middle. No, guys. No.
Thump, I think we know a thing or two about team chemistry. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, this is from ESPN 49ers reporter Nick Wagner. He says that Vivid Seats, the secondary ticket market website, is projecting Sunday's Lumen Field crowd to be a majority of 49ers fans. What's the real headline?
Win more games first, Seahawks fan said of 0-0 team. The season hasn't started.
People are already like, you know what? I need to make some money on this one.
I hesitated making a headline rewrite calling out Seahawks fans going to games when we're Seattle. These are the fans that are our friends, family, people listening. It's all of us. But also, I'm questioning, like, how does Vivid Seats have this information? I would be a little surprised if it was, like, over half 49ers fans for this game. And if it was, I'd be very, very, very disappointed. What more do you need? This team hasn't even started the season. I know they didn't make the playoffs last year. Hey, neither did the 49ers.
Welcome to Seattle turning corporate. That's exactly what it is. It's been happening slowly year after year after year, and that's what's happening here. But also, Seahawks, the 12s, they travel to Arizona all the time and take over that stadium. Like, it's not like,
because
like
I mean,
other
most of
teams
the
are
stadiums,
immune to that.
Most of Arizona's like asleep at a certain point, you know.
So it's this is what happens, but no one's surprised. If you go out there and you start off hot, you win some ball games, you go 4-1, 5-2, fans are gonna start showing up, but no one believes right now. At least not enough believe. And too many corporations have access to these tickets, and they're just giving these things away. I'm done complaining about that. All right, win some ball games, that'll change everything.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Nick Sirianni said he did not know they would be raising his team's banner on Thursday night for their Super Bowl victory. What's the real headline?
With all seriousness, when did Nick Sirianni expect the Eagles to raise the Super Bowl banner? Was he thinking this would be like a week 5 kind of thing?
When they got time for it, we'll get around
When we get
to it.
around to it, I don't know, we'll have like a big ceremony and just coming out of the bye week, I guess.
Or in the bye weeks, make it a private thing. You know, select few VIP can only come to the banner raising. This is Sirianni just keeping the Philly bit going. Listen, drop the tough guy act. Bask in the success that you had last year. You guys had an awesome season. You had the best running back in the game. Jalen Hurts, who's been doubted years and years and years, has proven himself to be a good quarterback. You had a good football team. I think this is all an act. He's just saying that. This is coach talk. Coaches do stuff like this. Oh, nothing's more important than right now. Yeah, of course. Get your ring. Hang the banner. It's not for you, honestly. It's for the fans. The fans want to see this.
This is how he said it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was banner night. We won't be out for that.
I'm kind of over it. It's big, like, teenage energy. I kind of like Nick Sirianni. Like, he's got his warts, as any coach does, and every, prominent figure with a big personality annoys a lot of people. But, like, I otherwise like him. I think he's a good fit for the team. But hearing that, it's just like, why are you acting like you're over this?
Because the football culture is always on to the next.
Yes.
That's just what it is. I get that. But listen, celebrate this, man. This is something that most coaches and players will never experience in their lives. So drop the act. I know it's on to the next. You're going to beat the Cowboys on Thursday. Don't worry about it. And enjoy it.
Hawks Live is back for another season, and you can join Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. at Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and a preview of this week's game, plus a visit from Gray Zabel. You guys, this is a free event. You just show up, do your shopping, grab some dinner, grab some lunch, grab a happy hour, and then roll up. It's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at Bellevue Square Center Court. Learn more at seattlesports.com/events. What's going on with the Mariners, and importantly, how can they dig their way out? We'll ask Jordan Shusterman next.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. And this week's guest, starting left guard, Gray Zabel.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com. Love cars? LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma, is packed with 300 stunning classics, family fun, and events year-round. For what's happening next and to plan your visit, go to americascarmuseum.org.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there!
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch and the strike 3 called and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are kicking off their next homestand with a 3-day Logan Gilbert Funko Pop giveaway against the Cardinals, September 8th to 10th. Plus, don't miss the final Mariners fireworks night of the season, September 12th against the Angels, presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What the heck is going on with the Mariners? Here to help us try to answer it, Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. I'll start with a couple quotes here, Jordan. I'm not sure if you heard what Brian Wu said after the game. I'm going to play you the sound right here.
You just got to take accountability for it. I mean, at this point of the year, you can make all the excuses you want. You just got to play better. You got to be better. You got to have more urgency. I think all the guys in the locker room, especially the guys that have been here the last couple of years, are sick and tired of the last couple of years of what have happened in August and September. And, it's up to us to flip the script and do something about it. That's all it really comes down to. There's times that we've played good baseball and we know we're capable of it. This is about as talented a team I think as anybody's ever seen here in the last couple of years. But I mean, yeah, no one's going to give us any wins. We got to go out there and take it.
So that was Woo. JP Crawford has a quote that's kind of been making the rounds, saying sometimes when we get knocked down in the fight, we stay down, and we can't have that right now. You're a reporter, baseball analyst, also a baseball fan. Would either of those quotes, that sentiment from either of those players, be worrying you, catch your attention? Because we're getting a lot of questions about them today.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why you would be worried as much as just like fans want accountability. I think Brian Wu kind of covered all the different elements that you would expect from someone in his position. And I think coming from Wu in particular, it's interesting for a few reasons, right? I mean, he's not necessarily one of the veteran guys, but he's also the one that has been basically the most consistent performer on the entire roster. And, last night was not a terrible outing, but I'm sure by his standards felt like he let the team down. So at this time of year, I think while it all sounds, a little bit, empty, they're also completely right. It doesn't matter what they say before, after, during the game. It's you got to win. And so I don't even think the quotes make that much of a difference in either direction, because the fans are going to respond to either direction just based on what the results are on the field.
What does Dan do? How can Dan support this team properly so that they can make a push towards the end of the day? It's down to the players, right? They're the ones on the field, on the diamond, who have to execute. But how does a guy like Dan give them that extra nudge to get them going?
Yeah, this is another difficult thing when we're evaluating managers, and also just talking about what their responsibility is, because I do think that there's some truth to the sentiment that the manager is speaking kind of on behalf of the team and the sentiment of the team, and so there is value in how that person is communicating to the fans. At the same time, what you're alluding to is to what can he do with the players. That is ultimately none of our business, and also we have no idea. We have no sense for how urgent he is acting, or how upfront, direct he's being behind the scenes. I know reports of a meeting pregame yesterday, and sometimes those are perceived wins, sometimes those are perceived losses, and you never really know how much stock you want to put into them. But ultimately, while I do think that how Dan communicates with the media can sometimes influence how teams are, how fans are feeling, I think any sort of interaction he's having with the players, we're really never going to totally understand what kind of impact he's having.
Hey, last year, a lot of our conversation about this team was this front office didn't do enough to complement great pitching, and that's ultimately what cost them. The year prior, we were having a very similar conversation. We've seen, Jordan, you know this, so many frustrating winters from this front office. This year, though, I feel like more than ever, we're looking at player execution, going, I don't know, man, like, yeah, you'd love your front office to spend even more. You would have loved them to add another arm, but this feels like a player thing, an execution thing. Is that how it feels to you?
I think that's fair. I mean, I've been banging the drum about the bullpen being too thin, and again, I generally agree. I think that for the most part, you have to give the front office credit for what they were able to accomplish and make an offense that you would think would be able to be scoring enough runs consistently so that you weren't sweating out the bullpen as much as they have been. But I'm with you. I think the talent is there. We have seen them play stretches like one of the best teams in baseball, and so Brian was right. Like they have played like that, and I think that's also why fans are extra frustrated, right? Because they know it's in there. It's not a talented team that is 500 or has been playing poorly the whole time. There are other teams that have a lot of talent that are nowhere near the postseason. That's obviously not the Mariners' position. They're frustrated right now, but they also know that it's still very much in their control. There's still months left, and there's still a lot of games that are still left to be won to kind of turn this vibe into a much more positive one.
Lots of fans our texters are complaining about Cal swinging for the fences, or an approach by Randy on the base pads. In general, they haven't been great stealing bases this month. What is it about the approach of these guys in the box that you feel like is putting them in this position, or do you think it's just that blanket comment, this is just baseball?
I lean towards more towards the latter. Again, this time of year, everything's a little bit magnified. I mean, listen, if you want to criticize Cal Raleigh for the approach that has produced one of the greatest seasons of all time, that's fine. I have at it. If you want to be, I understand, because it's part of the story. You start telling yourself he shouldn't only be trying to hit home runs, but and who's to say that he hasn't been trying to do that all year? And then that's what's given him the results. And listen, swing and miss is part of his game. And when you're coming up empty in those spots, I mean, listen, that's not the thing that he should feel like when you have those golden opportunities late in the game the way that he did, that you would hope someone who has a strong case to be MVP would be coming through. I think that's totally valid for fans to feel. But to criticize the specific approach or that I think has driven all the success, that feels a little bit silly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I tend to see it as Cal's a guy that has power, but not the most power. So you kind of got to sell out once in a while, and you're essentially just looking for your pitch or a mistake and trying to drive a line center over center field. And that's what you're trying to do. And so that's led to a lot of home runs. It's led to him putting the ball in the air, some adjustments to his swing and stuff like that. But I don't think he's selling out for home runs. I do, though, wonder if, on a very related note, guys are feeling some pressure, to get this done, just because this is an organization that's in this really unique spot of you've made the playoffs once in 23 years. When you talk to, if you ever interview players from other teams, or if you interview reporters who cover teams, how often do you think that players feel pressure and hear the noise from outside an organization?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think, Wu kind of alluded to it too, in terms of how these last few seasons have ended is a blessing and a curse, because you're right there, you're talented enough, to get over the hump, but you're also kind of sweating it out and being like, oh no, right? Is this happening again? Are we the same kinds of troubles that have obviously plagued this organization recently? Is it, endemic to the kinds of issues that they've had? Now, the personnel hasn't always been the same all the way through, but it is, is that an outside notice? No, it's their own experience, right? It's knowing that they've been eliminated in the final week, or final few days, so many times that they have. So, I mean, that's less about, what we're talking about, because they've lived it. And I think that it's really how they can kind of channel that in a positive way that is really going to make the difference.
Mariners still make the playoffs?
I think they do. I'm a holding out. I'm as optimistic as it gets, but I also have been consistent on this all throughout the summer. I just think that it's been pretty clear who the teams are. These 12 teams that we've been staring at in postseason position, they look like the playoff teams. And from a talent perspective, I just think that the Mariners belong there. But as Brian Wu said, they got to go out and earn it. No one's just going to give it to them. Teams like the Rays, and even teams like Atlanta this weekend, you cannot just show up and beat these teams. I mean, they've had rough seasons for one reason or another, but it is not that simple, and they have to realize that.
I think what's really frustrating, too, you guys recently did a podcast looking at the glaring weaknesses for some of the projected playoff teams, and in the American League at least, I don't know that I see a glaring weakness for the Mariners that's obviously worse than anyone else's, but I don't know. Do you?
No, I agree with you in terms of roster construction. Again, the way that the bullpen has been stretched is definitely concerning, and some of the showings a little bit more inconsistent from even some of their best players. I think that is a realistic concern, or best pitchers in the bullpen, I should say. But in terms of balance of the roster, no. I mean, it feels like the talent is all there in a way that it hasn't been in recent years. So it is a matter of player execution and taking advantage of the games that you really need to win.
How dangerous are the Rangers? You look at their roster; it's nothing too great. They have been playing some decent ball as of late. Our colleague Mike Salk still doesn't believe that they're a good baseball team. How seriously are you taking the Rangers?
Yeah, we did a little bit of a conversation about that on the podcast yesterday, just because it's a weird one. It's a really weird one to figure out. It is hard to look at this group and try and understand, because you mentioned the talent on the roster. I mean, most of the talent on the roster is on the injured list. So, they've been winning and have been playing a little bit more carefree ever since a lot of those top guys that we're so used to have actually gotten hurt. And so what are you supposed to make of that? What are you supposed to make of a group where a lot of these players are, rookies, right? I mean, Michael Hellman and Cody Freeman and Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore's over there making some noise for them, and he's a cast-off from a team they're chasing. So it's hard to kind of piece together exactly what to expect from them. But they're playing, and the players who are on that roster are playing with a level of kind of carefree attitude that because they're not harbored with anything in the past. They're like, screw it, I'm in the big league. Let's have some fun. That's a little bit of a different mentality right now.
Is there a pattern that you've noticed with the starting pitching? And conversely, is there anything at all that you've seen at least improving, or is there any kind of silver lining you think Mariners fans can hang on to, specifically with that group of starters?
Yeah, it's hard. And I think, especially with Seattle, and when we talk about, the troubles on the road, I think this is sometimes where you see, and I mean, we're experiencing it to the worst possible way with Luis Castillo, but all these guys are in the zone, right? I mean, these are all pitchers that want to throw. You're in the zone, you're facing teams that understand you're going to be in the zone. If your command is off even a little bit, you're going to end up being a little. Ultimately, besides Logan Gilbert, who obviously the strikeouts have been outrageous this season, a lot of things and misses in the same way. It's relying a lot on producing weak contact and getting a little bit more consistent balls in play and trusting your defense. Obviously, that approach has not worked as well as much, and that also leads to a lot of home runs, which has been especially devastating.
How important is the Emerson Hancock experience when it comes to taking them or bringing them out the bullpen?
That's a great question. It feels kind of unfair to put it all on me. It's easy to get excited to think about this piece who, we've kind of seen come up and down and think, oh, man, what if he can just air it out in the bullpen? But that's another guy that even if he's throwing harder, he's not necessarily someone that's getting a lot of swing and miss. And that's really what it seems like this bullpen needs right now is swing and miss. So unless they can kind of find a pitch for him that can get those, I'm not going to hold my breath and expect him to suddenly become a high leverage guy. I appreciate the creativity. I appreciate Hancock's willingness to give it a go, but that's why I'm not exactly expecting him to suddenly become some shutdown closer.
After they wrap up this series against the Rays with hopefully a win, knock on wood, they're going to get a day off and then head to Atlanta to take on the Braves. What should we know about this year's Braves team?
Yeah, I mean, the lineup that you're looking at there is pretty familiar to the ones that we expected was going to be, in the playoff race. But the pitchers that they have now, it's important to note that, Chris Sale did come back, which is kind of amazing considering the season that the Braves are having, that he wanted to come back and improve himself. But he's no easy customer, obviously. But it's a lineup, too, that, again, if the Mariners bats can heat up, I think they should be able to score with them. But those could be some high-scoring games, I think.
You got Randy and Julio who are close to getting in the 30-30 club. What does that do for Julio's legacy so far and the way people will perceive this season? Because it feels like he did so much damage early in the season that people kind of ignore the way he's playing right now.
No, I think that's totally fair. And, I mean, that's kind of what Julio is shackled with because he is – of course, care about first and foremost. Julio's historic start to his career. I mean, he'll tell you he doesn't really care about that because it's great, it's impressive, and yes, I think that when defending his kind of bona fides as a player, it's very important to bring up in the context that more of the casual fans should understand how incredible Julio has been. I also think that those are the kinds of accomplishments, and especially this time of year, they're not thinking about very much.
He is Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman. Kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Talk next week.
All right. Every single Wednesday at 10:45, Bump's got three things grinding his gears, driving him crazy, and you've got three things for us today. So what's first for Get Off My Lawn?
First one, there's something that must be stopped immediately.
Okay.
Tomorrow. I mean, we need to stop doing this.
Okay.
When you're young, you dream of playing in the bigs, a lot of kids at least, playing in the bigs, NBA, Olympics or whatnot. And then you reach a certain age where your body just won't let you do it anymore.
Oh, my God, I know what you're
These under 40 football leagues need to stop right now.
That's what you were going to say.
You need to stop. I'm looking at men out there who look like they're playing their first ever organized football at 40. This is dangerous, okay? This is dangerous. You got grown men risking ACLs, PCLs, MCLs, concussions, just their overall health. What are we playing for at this point? Play flag football.
Respect.
It's okay to play flag. You got to work for UPS tomorrow. Big ups to Trevor. All right. You got whatever job you have to do, you are risking providing for yourself and your family for what? I saw a under 40 football team with Saints tops and Ravens bottoms. What are we doing? What are we doing? At least get the jerseys right. And these guys they're talking like they're playing for their contract. They're talking like they're trying to get a scholarship.
You just don't get it, Bo.
You can get someone holding out.
Have you ever played? You just don't get it.
You don't get it, bro.
I don't get it.
You don't ball.
I don't get it. My knees hurt right now. Yet these guys were out there, and I saw this one guy in a stance that has never been taught in football ever. Why are you in this stance? All right, who are your
Probably
coaches?
because you can't bend all the way over.
It was ridiculous. His shoes are untied. He's in a weird stance. The face mask makes no sense. They had a media day. They had a media day.
That's a bridge too far.
You know what? You stand in the middle of the camera that circles you? They had one of those. Men, we got to do better. Go home to your family. Go home to your wife, your kids. Make sure you're ready for work in the morning because this is going to. Now, the entertainment is awesome. I will watch the clip every single time. I will watch that clip. Most of these guys are out of shape. You're only good for 5 plays.
All the
they had
injuries.
dudes laying on the sidelines, literally laying on the sidelines. This is getting crazy. This reminds me of the old Latin soccer leagues back at home. There'd be guys out there drinking beer on the sidelines before the games. This is crazy. The entertainment is really fun to watch, but I'm concerned for you guys.
Someone said these 35-up leagues are diabolical. Now listen.
Yo.
I think there's some 30-something-year-olds out there who can still play. It's the 40 and ups you got to look out for.
Man, the slowest football. It's like watching big toddlers play ball. It moves so slow.
I can't believe there's a media day. Media day? Like
Media
what?
day. They let a 60-year-old get out there and get a snap too. Come on, man.
That's
it ain't worth it. Trust me.
amazing.
It ain't worth it.
Amazing. What's next?
I'm a man.
I want there to be a
I
holdout.
should have saved that one for last. That was a good one.
Good.
Remember last year or a couple years ago when Deion Sanders first became the Colorado head coach and people weren't feeling it. Oh, he's not qualified. He's this, he's that. Then they come out and they smack TCU or they beat TCU, right? I just want Bill Belichick to get all the hate that Deion was getting in his journey, all right? Bill Belichick, people thought just because he's Bill Belichick, he's going to enter a world where there is no salary cap, where you got 100,000 players to choose from, and he's just going to automatically make this team great. Did you see the pregame festivities? They had Petey Pablo out there, North Carolina. It was a spectacle, and people just automatically assumed that Bill Belichick was going to get this team to play at a college football type level, college football playoff type level. Listen, y'all need to hate on Bill Belichick the same way y'all be hating on Deion, okay? If Bill Belichick does not have success, I want all those guys on his head as well. Bill, I respect you. I got nothing but love for you. But this is a new world that you have entered, and I bet you people thought it was just going to be easy for him. Put some respect on Deion Sanders' name and what he's done over there at Colorado without the resources that Bill has at North Carolina. I'm just saying, keep that same energy. If Bill does not get her done, I need y'all talking about him. Thank you, and please.
Last.
I'm a man.
Last one.
I'm 40.
Last week I did my first assignment. Went to ASU. I called that game ASU versus Northern Arizona. One, it's too dang hot. Curtis, you spent 4 years in Arizona.
This is your fault.
What the heck is going on? I went to work out at 6 a.m. It's 95 degrees at 6 a.m.
Yeah, but it's a dry heat.
I hate
That's
that.
what they tell
It's
you.
dry. So what? It's heat.
I always said that, and Bum said, that doesn't matter.
It's heat. I'm sweating. I had to go buy new underwear at Ross. Sweat through all my underwear. It's getting crazy out there. Y'all Arizonans, y'all are nuts. I will be out there in December. That's the only time I'm going to Arizona. But I do like it. It's clean. You know what? And I'm driving with my colleague, and he's like, well, there's no homeless people. I go, because it's too dang hot out here. If you survive and you're homeless in Arizona, you are a soldier, man. But that's not even my point. All right? I just got just flashbacks of that heat, and I'm like, how do you do this? And then I'm wearing a suit, and usually I wear my suit to the stadium. I was carrying that thing because I'm like, I gotta walk 5 minutes. I'm gonna sweat through this suit. It is crazy. Anyway, big ass Arizona treated me well. Hotel was nice. People were cool. Good experience. Other than that heat.
Was it climate controlled?
Well, in the booth
press?
it was.
Okay.
Yeah. But I still got to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I got to walk.
Literally, it's like walking over coals.
Yeah, I'm sweating. All I did was walk 5 minutes. I'm sweating getting there. But that's not even my point. My point is I traveled. So once I travel, You know, things are going to start
airline
happening.
etiquette? Hotel
Airline.
etiquette?
And we're going airlines
Ooh,
right now.
I did not know.
Classic.
I thought the
Airlines.
Arizona Heat would be it.
No, Arizona Heat, that's ridiculous. Like Sun Devils, I get why they're the Sun Devils.
Yeah,
Like,
because they're in hell.
literally. But we're boarding planes, and we board backwards. I know first class wants to get on first and sit down, but we should board back to front. Why are we boarding front to back? All right. I get you paid extra for your ticket. You want to sit down first, but all it does is causes chaos. Let the people who sit in the back in the 30s and 20s and teens, you go ahead and you board first, but just make a rule that you must stay in your benzo, your overhead bins. All right. You put your bag over your seat. That's where it gets all jacked up. I saw somebody walking all the way to the back and tried to drop it off in first class. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am.
So that they could walk all the way up to the front and grab it?
Excuse me, ma'am.
You're steerage.
No, you take that thing back to the back. But there has to be a better way, man, because we're boarding, and they're like, all right, first class, I get it, boom. All right, business class, bing. All right, now we're going to the back. Now it's all jammed up. It's just not efficient. I'm all about efficiency when I travel. And I'm looking at this process go down. I go, we're doing this all wrong. We're doing this all wrong. Board back to front. And you know what? To make the first class people happy, just have a nice little drink there waiting for them as soon as they sit down. Let's speed this up. We could be bored in like 8 to 10 minutes if we do it that way.
I'm gonna phrase this as classist bump, and it's gonna be bump calling seats like 25 and later steerage, like on the Titanic.
Yeah, back to front.
But here's my thing too. I am like in a rush all the time to like, if I'm boarding the plane, okay, I want to get on the plane. You know me, I don't even change lanes. I get in the lane that I'm going to exit like 20 miles from now. Whatever that lane's going to be, I stay in that lane. But, I mean, if we're really being honest, it's probably more comfortable off the plane.
It is.
And the more that you can just sit and look at your phone in the little lounge area and do whatever, maybe run and grab a bagel, do whatever you need to do. And then they're like, okay, first class, now you can come on. Because when you're first class and you sit, I've never been in first class. I wouldn't know that life bump. But I would imagine that when you're in first class, you're sitting down, people are still boarding. It's not like they can immediately be like, okay, what can we get you? What do you want? Like you're still waiting, looking at everyone. The only perk is people watching.
And then what they do in first class too is that you sit there and they always service you first. So what they'll do is they'll stop the line and say, let me grab a couple orders, right? So now you got like 50 people waiting in line while the first class stewardess are taking the orders for these guys. And I'm like, you're making the process longer than it has to be.
Yeah.
I get it's human nature to want to be first, to want to go first and all that. I understand it. You know what I would do? Because I ride first and premium most of the time. Don't get it twisted. I've been in 30 sometimes too. All right. What I do when I'm in first, if I was in first class, man, I just sit at the bar a little longer, watch a little more TV. Like it's not that big of a deal.
No one's racing to be the first person on the plane. Like, you don't want to spend more time on the plane than you have to.
No.
But everybody wants to be the first person off the plane.
Well, yeah.
And
that's what you're paying for.
Exactly.
And that
first class,
double wide seat.
Yeah, that's the bigger benefit.
I can't wait for one of the games that Bump covers, inevitably, to have someone come like sprinting up from, and I do know that they do this sometimes with like, hey, people have layovers, people that have to get to another plane, we get it. But just to have someone be like, no, I'm going to be first off, and I don't care where I'm standing.
Man.
Like they don't know the plane etiquette. Bump might stand up and block them.
I just might. Or just throw the arm out. Throw the arm out.
Into the aisle.
Hold on.
Hang
Not
on.
your turn.
The return of the NFL season also brings the return of our sacred viewing experience, NFL Red Zone. We've already wondered how the heck Scott Hanson powers through 7 hours straight. So let's ask him. NFL Red Zone Scott Hanson joins us next.
Touchdown Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Hey homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, experience the power of choice. Whether you're cruising on a fuel-sipping Prius, tackling trails in a rugged Tacoma, hauling with the mighty Tundra, or commuting in comfort with the Camry or RAV4, your perfect Toyota is waiting. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. 2 locations, endless possibilities. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, the power of choice is yours. Visit their incredible team and beautiful showrooms today or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit BailAlarm.com today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners lost to the Rays last night, dropping their second consecutive game. They've lost 4 of 5 on the road trip so far. Series finale today at 4:35. Pregame show at 3:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. You guys are going to know his voice the second you hear it. It's NFL Red Zone Scott Hanson on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Scott is the host of NFL Red Zone channel, available across cable and satellite TV providers, as well as through NFL Plus and NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. By the way, for more information on how to order NFL Red Zone, visit NFL.com/Red Zone. Scott, I got to be really honest with you. Most of my questions are just about how the heck you do your job. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Stacy. Michael, great to be with you. Happy football season, one and all.
God, honestly, hearing your voice is already making me so excited for week one. We do have some football questions. I will say that, but I just got to start with how does your day actually start? Is it like 4 cups of coffee? Like, what's going on behind the scenes there?
Believe it or not, as enthusiastic as hopefully I appear on camera on Sundays, that is non-caffeinated, most of it. Wow. I do not drink coffee. All I need is a shower in the morning to get me fired up on an NFL Sunday. I'm jumping out of bed. We're in Pacific time like you guys. So I wake up around 4 a.m. on a Sunday. I like to be in the studio a little after 5 a.m., have the same breakfast every single Sunday morning that I've had for the last probably 12, 15 years. And get focused on the touchdowns. We kick it off at 10 a.m. Pacific and rocking and rolling. And it's a thrill. It's fun. But no, all I need is a shower in the morning, a suit on my back, and football on the screen, and I'm ready to go.
Scott, what's your I guess communication like with producers and the research people? Because you are the star of the show, but I'm pretty sure you have some good support over there.
Oh yeah. Our crew, led by Alan Flowers and Andy Gregg and Brian Nettles and Dustin Stern and Todd Mossberg, our crew is the best in sports television for my money. I get a lot of the credit, because I'm the face man and whatnot, but our crew works tirelessly to make what is a very difficult show to put together look very, very scripted, even though it's not, right? We have a staff of about 30 people, give or take, doing various jobs that all need to be in conjunction with each other. And there's no rundown, to use the broadcast term. There's no teleprompter. There's no script. It's here are the games. Blend them together in a way that will be fun, entertaining, and informative to the football audience. And this is season 17. They do a great job at it. And I try and lend my abilities to be as good as I can be at it.
You are, I don't think I've ever seen you lost for words, but there are certainly things that happen during the course of the season, sometimes early in the season in week one, that are really shocking. So for us watching at home, if we're watching Red Zone, maybe we're tuned into that specific game. Sometimes you're like, I'm not sure what happened there. Or like, wow, that's really surprising. What do you do if in a moment you go, okay, I have no idea what just happened here? Do you just talk through it genuinely? Do you find leaning into authenticity can sometimes help? What do you do?
Yeah, 100%. I try to know every rule in the rule book. I try to know the too deep on every team that we're dealing with. I try to be as buttoned down with my football history and everything else. But there are still moments where I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I actually am not sure what they're discussing right now, what they're looking at. And I'll give you, for instance, down in New Orleans, Saints at home, I actually forget who they were playing. But the Saints ran a fake punt. And the way they ran the fake punt was they snapped it to the punter, and the punter, instead of kicking it downfield, threw a deep shot downfield. So the gunner was out on the far right side where they line up on the far right side of the punt formation, or left side as well. But the guy runs a 9 route right up the seam, and the punter throws it 30, 40 yards downfield, big deep shot pass. Well, the guy who was supposed to be blocking the gunner did his job and blocked the gunner. A penalty flag came in for pass interference. But did you know you can't have pass interference on a fake punt? That's actually in the rule book. I didn't know it at the time. Wow. And so I said, how are they going to pick up a flag for pass interference here? The guy tackled him before the football came in. And I found out after the fact. And so like there are moments where I have to confess, hey, guys, we're trying to figure it out just like you are. Hopefully our base level knowledge is good enough that if I'm confused, probably the whole audience is confused as well, and we can go on this little mini journey together to determine what was the correct call in any given instance.
That's amazing. So now special teams guys as coach, their dudes, just grab them. Balls in there, just grab them.
I had no idea.
Well, but that's why you never see deep shots on fake punts. That's why fake punts are almost always, if it's a pass, it's a pop pass right over the middle, or it's a quick hitter outside to the gunner. You will not see a deep shot down the field because the defender can literally tackle that guy, and it's not going to be a penalty flag.
Oh, that's
and of course, most fake punts are usually snaps to the personal protector, the up man, and they run it in a certain way to do a fake punt. But yeah, I want to be real with the audience. I know quite a bit. I do not know everything, and I'll be the first to admit it when I don't. And let's find out together and have some enjoyment with it. I think people appreciate someone being, sincere and authentic in that way.
Yeah, for sure. I cover NFL and college on a way smaller scale than you. But when I travel here regionally, sit down and have a beer before my flight, people want to strike up conversations. And the conversation in Seattle is typically what's Sam Darnold going to do? How's his defense going to look? When you travel and people hear that voice, I'm sure they hear your voice and they turn around and look at you and they ask you a question for the 2025 season. What's the most common question you've gotten so far?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I'll be in a deli or something like that ordering, can I get a turkey on wheat, no onion, no tomato? And then the guy next to me is like, wait a minute. I know that voice. 'Cause,
he's like, say 7 hours?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been asked to do the catchphrase in the grocery store parking lot before. And I spent hours in people's living rooms on Sunday, mostly my voice. I don't appear on camera all that often. So, probably the number one question is, what's your biggest storyline? Who do you like and what's your biggest storyline? And I think for the storylines this year, mine is a little different than most people. I think a lot of people are like, oh, Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Is this the first and last dance for both Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin together? Mm-hmm. And that's a big storyline. He's a walking Hall of Famer, all of that stuff. But to me, it's the young guys, the second-year quarterbacks. Which ones take a leap in their second season? Almost always the biggest progression in an NFL player's career is in between his rookie and second year. And with this crop of quarterbacks from last year, the most important position on the field, of course, does Caleb Williams take that leap? Does Drake May, who showed some flashes, take that leap? Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy is basically a rookie, even though he's a second-year player. And then Jaden Daniels had an all-time rookie season. Does he make the leap in the second year? And Michael Penix taking over full-time as the unquestioned starter in Atlanta. So which of the second-year quarterbacks take that jump will impact the NFL, I think, more than anything this year.
It's so cool because so many of those guys, not just from last year's group, but also some guys from this year are in part of that early part that you're looking at. You got Bucks and Falcons kicking off at 10 a.m. Pacific, obviously. And up here in Seattle, we're obviously all rooting for Michael Penix Jr. It's hard not to, even though he's in the NFC. What's kind of your overall outlook on the Seahawks? I know that you have to know so much about all the teams, but Bump kind of like just checking in with national folks or people that are just a little bit more removed to say, like, okay, how are you seeing things?
So I think this is the 2024 Sam Darnold actually Sam Darnold. If that is him having unlocked himself at the quarterback position, there's something there. I realize DK's not there anymore. JSN, it's time. And a lot of people think he can be a top-line wide receiver. I don't understand why fantasy drafts and people are as down on Cooper Kupp as they are. The two-headed running back situation is one of the better 1-2 punches in the NFL. And then Macdonald, with a second-year system and being a defensive-minded guy, is going to keep his team in games in a tight NFC West race that I think you could make an argument for all four of the teams in the NFC West winning the division this year. I think Seattle fans should be as optimistic not necessarily as optimistic as ever, like when the Legion of Boom was running and Russell was at the top of his game and the Super Bowl window was as wide open as it was. Those were probably the best preseason feels that the Seahawks have had in the last 10, 15 years. But for a playoff contending team, a division contending team, the 12s absolutely ought to be enthusiastic and optimistic about this year, in my opinion.
How'd you get your start into all this? Did you just apply for a job on LinkedIn and be like, hey, yeah, I want to get on this red zone deal? Like, how did you become the guy that you are? What was your prep like? Give me a little bit of your story.
Yeah, so I was with the NFL for 2 seasons prior to the beginning of NFL Red Zone in 2009. Okay, so 2007, 2008, I was a roving reporter for NFL media. So I'd fly to a game and do sideline reports pregame. Okay, here's the injury update for the Bucks and the Falcons. And then I'd sit up in the press box, watch the game, go downstairs at the end of the game, do post-game interviews and wraps. Okay, typical kind of NFL reporter stuff. But I'd be the guy in the press box who was watching, let's say, Tom Brady and the Patriots live on the field, but I'd be elbowing the person next to me because I'd have my laptop open and I would say, oh, yeah, I know Tom Brady's doing this against the Jets right now, but Tony Romo just hit Terrell Owens on a 50-yard touchdown pass in Dallas. Oh, in Minnesota, Adrian Peterson has 100 yards at the half for the Vikings. I was always interested in everything going on, not just one game. Well, 2009, the summer of 2009, I heard through the hallways here at NFL Media that we were going to start up the NFL's version of the Red Zone channel. So I called up the talent coordinator, a guy named Jamie Heeman, and I said, Jamie, is it true we're starting up NFL Red Zone? He goes, yep. I go, who you got to host it? And he goes, well, we're looking at some different people. I said, is my name on the list? He goes, yeah, your name's on the list. I said, I want it. If you guys put me in charge of this, I will crush it. And I didn't mean to sound cocky in saying that. I just knew my passion, my whatever skills I have, I figured would marry quite well with the demands of a 7-hour, comprehensive, nonstop, every touchdown football show. And we had an audition. The audition was usually for a TV audition, it lasts 10, 15 minutes, right? They put you up on set and they want you to see how you look, how you sound. Can you talk your way out of a wet paper bag? Well, this for Red Zone, the audition, because Red Zone stamina is a big name of the game. Mm-hmm. The audition was 5 hours long. Jeez. They basically took a random week of the season prior, queued up 8 random games to the kickoff, hit play simultaneously, and said, talk. And I went after it as best I could. I remember I was sweating so hard, I was flop sweating through my suit. I could feel sweat. And I had no idea whether I had just damaged my career or landed the role that would define my career. But a few weeks later, after the audition, and they auditioned some other people as well, the executive producer called me up and said, Scott, we just want you to know that we want to name you the host of NFL Red Zone. And I was like, oh, man, that's awesome. I said, Eric, so you watched the 5-hour audition, right? And he goes, Scott, I watched the first 15 minutes of it, and I knew you were my guy. And I said, oh, that's very flattering. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, then why in the did you have me do 5 hours, ruin a perfectly good suit, and think that I was harming my career? But all's well that ends well, and that's how I ended up season 1, week 1, September of 2009, and here in 4 days is season 17, believe it or not.
Crazy.
Well, it ended up being one of the most iconic parts, I'll say, of fall. It's you and pumpkin spice lattes, I think, are just dominating, dominating the culture right now.
If we are in that level, we have arrived.
It is the highest of compliments coming from me, Scott.
Especially from Stacy.
NFL Red Zone's Scott Hanson, one of our absolute favorites. We cannot wait to hear you on our screens on week 1. For more information on how to order NFL Red Zone, visit NFL.com/RedZone. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
You got it. Great to be with you guys.
See ya. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what career high would you love to see on Sunday?
Clint Kubiak is here to change this offense, to highlight Sam Darnold, to put these offensive linemen in great position, and to run the dang football. Ken Walker, 29 rush attempts in 2023 for 114 and 1 touchdown against the Rams. I would love to see that number from him. I love to see it. Maybe even a combined between him and Zach Charbonnet around 36 carries. But if Ken Walker has 29 attempts, I'm good. He had 26 attempts in 2023 against the Cardinals for 109 and 2 touchdowns, and then 25 attempts against the Rams in 2024 for 83 yards. I just want to see stubbornness. If Ken Walker is starting, if he is healthy, and he's touching the rock that many times, that means things are good. That means that other things are going to be set up as well. Ken Walker needs to have a career high when it comes to attempts. Probably not likely because he ain't been practicing. He ain't been out there. And what coaches do is if you haven't been out there servicing your football team during the week, they're going to be reluctant to give you the football that many times on the weekend. But what if he gets in a groove? What if he's starting to see the lanes? What if he breaks off a big one? What if the pass game is opening up because of that? I think if Ken Walker can show early that he's healthy and ready to go, he'll get a bunch of attempts. But career high, Ken Walker gets 30 rush attempts on Sunday. I'll be a happy camper.
My fantasy football will be a happy camper.
You drafted him?
Yeah, can I also say, yes, I did a fantasy. I'm in 2 for the first time in a long time. I always do 1. And the league that I'm in now is the smallest league I've ever been in with 8 teams. I know some of you all are on leagues that have 8 teams. Everyone's team is stacked.
Yeah.
Even like the guys on the bench
Yeah.
are going to be starting somewhere.
Yeah, 8 teams.
It's crazy.
Hella talent.
Second down. What other indicator will you be looking for with the Seahawks offense that shows a commitment to change?
All right, so the first indicator I'm looking at, snaps under center. In 2024, Seahawks have 30% of their snaps under center, 70% in shotgun. The New Orleans Saints, where Kubiak was, 48% under center, 52% shotgun. Nice balance there. I'm going to be looking at that. Also, personnel groupings. All right, 12 personnel, so that is 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Seahawks had the 24th least, or they were 24th when it comes to that. So, right, they're around, I forget the percentage, but they didn't do it much. New Orleans were 12th in the league. Also, 21 personnel, so 2 running backs, 1 tight end. The Seahawks were 21st. The New Orleans Saints were 4th. So I want to see some mixing up there. And then 11 personnel in the red zone. So 1 tight end, 1 running back. New Orleans, 31st most. They did that a lot in the red zone. I want to, 31st least. So they were towards the bottom when it comes to that. That means they packed it in. The Seahawks were 16th. So I'm going to look at personnel groups. I'm going to look at situations in the red zone and see how they decide to attack it, because I feel like, and I think most people who watch the Seahawks feel that as well, Hawks got to get better in the red zone, and they have to commit to the run. So if you give Ken Walker 29 attempts, if you are under center 48 to 50% of the time, if you are mixing up your personnel groups, especially in the red zone, those are going to be indicators that this offense is doing something different. So yeah, let's get that going.
Third down. Almost went to 4th down. Jumping the gun. What rookie will make the biggest play on Sunday?
I'm connecting everything to K9 today.
Okay.
Everything to the run. So if the run game is getting going, if K9 is getting his attempts, if the Seahawks are under center, that was the 2nd down, and if the personnel groups are being mixed up, especially in the red zone, maybe you get some 21 or some 22 or whatnot personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, then that means that the tight end group should be able to make some big plays. So I'm going to look at Arroyo. I think when it comes to running the football or run after the catch with the tight ends, Arroyo has that thing all covered up. So I'm looking at Arroyo to make some big plays. He might not even have the best day. It might be Horton with 5 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown. It might be MORA defending George Kittle and looking good there. It might be Gray Zabel not giving up any type of pressure. But the splash play, the big play, I'm going to look at the tight end group. I'm going to go with Arroyo. I think A.J. Barner is capable as well. But Arroyo is the one who can get busy with the football in his hands. So I'm going to go with him.
Do you think the tight end group for Seattle as a whole is underrated? It's really not getting a lot of attention at all. And on the one hand, you can't blame anyone. There aren't big names. There's not first-round picks. There's not really well-known veterans. A.J. Barner's probably going to be your starter with Arroyo behind him, but I know that you're really excited to see this group.
No, I like the group, and I think Eric Sauber is going to be good as well. His career stats aren't going to impress you. They don't jump off the screen, but I've watched him during training camp. I watched him during the games. He's a gritty type of receiver, or tight end, excuse me. He'll block. He'll receive the football. I think this group is better than expected. A.J. Barner's going to lead the charge. He should lead the charge. He's been here for a while. But AJ and Elijah can be a nice 1-2 combo. You look at Andrews and Likely over there with the Ravens. That's a good combo there. The Bills have a good combo as well. But no one's as young as these two here. So I think that they can grow together, blossom together, and do their thing.
Fourth down. I'm sure you recognized his voice, obviously. We were just joined by NFL Red Zone Scott Hanson. Anything stand out from our conversation with him?
Two things. Well, a lot of things stand out. You listen to Scott Hanson talk, right?
Yeah.
But two things that I wrote down. The pass interference on punt is crazy to me.
That was wild.
And then someone brought up a good point. A texter said, well, what if you hold? Right? You can be called for holding. Go, yeah, because that's not pass interference. The football's in the air and you're grabbing your guy. Obviously, they're going to call holding. So what you do is you make a play on the football, and as you make a play on the football, you smack the receiver at the same time. You're going to get pass interference. All is going to be well. You just can't blatantly tackle the person and pull it to the ground and hold them. And the second thing, so I'm going to be in the studio this weekend for CW with Mike Yam. And listening to Scott just got me fired up. I go, I got to bring that type of energy on a Saturday for CW. I got to be myself. I'm not going to be Scott Hanson. I'm not that energetic, I guess. But just hearing how he prepares and how he's putting on 7 hours on a weekend. Your boy will probably do, well, this is a long day for me. I'll be off at 10:45. So I'll be in the studio for like 7 hours, but I'm only going to be on TV for like maybe 2 hours or something like that. So, yeah, I got to bring some Scott Hanson this weekend. He's inspired me and also taught me something about pass interference on punts.
You know, I will say, don't sell yourself short, though, because your primetime football, weekday football coverage for the Seahawks, you have 4 hours of a show with us, and then you do 6 hours of Seahawks radio.
Yeah.
If my math checks out, that's 10 hours of radio.
That's yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, Scott was absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited for Red Zone to start. And we don't always get to actually sit and experience it because obviously the Seahawks play and we're at the stadium. But man, do I love it when the Seahawks have a Thursday night, a Monday night, and you get to watch Red Zone that weekend. It's the best.
It is the best.
Just an all-time classic. Guess the most popular question that listeners had for Scott Hanson that I did not ask.
I was going to ask him.
I'm so
When
glad.
does he use the restroom?
That's the multiple people
That's
texting
real.
in. When does he go to the bathroom? Ask him when he goes to the bathroom.
Well, guess what? Commercials this year, so he'll have time to go to the bathroom.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sad
So
about
disappointing.
that. I didn't want to
I was
ask
so
Scott about
disappointed.
that.
I didn't
'cause
want to
he's
ask him.
Well, I know that he was asked about it before. So he was on with Pat McAfee earlier and said that there would be commercials this year. He was asked about it with Rich Eisen. I was like, I'm not going to ask him again. And I know you felt that way because it's like he's already said, I have no control over this.
He's the talent.
We already have his
He
answer.
doesn't control commercials or whatnot.
But now he'll have time to go to the bathroom.
Plenty of time.
So hopefully not too much time.
Well, 7 hours, and they're doing full commercial breaks. He's going to have at least 3 breaks per hour.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm going to miss commercial-free Red Zone.
me too.
But I still love that Red Zone's back. Pablo Torre's at it again. His new target is Steve Ballmer, Kawhi Leonard, and the LA Clippers. A bombshell story coming your way next.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm fortunate to speak with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. Dave Wyman here, joined by Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host. Tim, how did you hear about Swedish Cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the Cyberknife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's, they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish Cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it, and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Paid for by Hanson Hers Health. Hanson Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at 4hers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's 4hers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Pablo Torre is at it again on a legendary run right now. I mean, after Bill Simmons said, like, this guy's not even a journalist, and to be fair, he and Bill Simmons hashed it out, and Bill Simmons admitted, okay, maybe I didn't listen to his podcast before saying he wasn't a journalist. Pablo Torre has uncovered story after story after story The NFLPA was just part of it. His newest target, Steve Ballmer, Kawhi Leonard, and the LA Clippers. In a podcast released today, Torrey uncovered a bombshell within the NBA. Steve Ballmer has reportedly been paying Kawhi a $28 million endorsement deal in order to circumvent the league's salary cap.
What I started doing was reaching out to dozens of former Aspiration employees. A grand total of 7 of them ultimately agreed to interviews, which is also how I have exclusively obtained this signed and executed document.
In consideration of the rights and benefits granted to company hereunder, the company will pay KL2, which is Kawhi, $28 million in cash during the term of this agreement. Company will pay KL2 $7 million each year of the term.
That is Kawhi Leonard's autograph. I convinced one very important person who worked in the finance department of Aspiration to go on tape.
And I didn't so much as discover it as I was told about it.
What was your reaction? What were you told?
My reaction was, what and I was told, oh, these are the major contracts and the major players you really need to be aware of. And we went through a litany of, really, really top tier name contracts. And then, oh, by the way, we also have a marketing deal with Kawhi Leonard, a $28 million organic marketing sponsorship deal with Kawhi. And that if I had any questions about it, essentially don't, because it was to circumvent the salary cap.
So this is a now bankrupt environmental company with direct ties to the Clippers. In fact, Ballmer's invested $50 million in it. And again, it was just an endorsement fee, using heavy quotes, that Kawhi would be given. No show, you still get the endorsement fee. You guys are just paying Kawhi Leonard through a third party is what's happening here. How does Pablo keep doing this?
First off, they need to do better because that is clearly Lisa from Bonnie Lake. I know that voice anywhere.
They were like, we're going to do a voice cover up. And it's like, so this is crazy. They had me as like a voice disguise.
The idea around it makes sense. All right, Kawhi, we're not gonna pay you as much, but we're gonna use this business, a third party, for you to get paid. Where they messed up is Kawhi. You gotta actually put in some work. You gotta at least fake it. You gotta at least act like you're into this whole thing. It's like, nah, I'm gonna sign here. Y'all pay me, but there's no record of me doing anything for this company.
But there was never gonna be a record of him doing. You think they should have faked it more? You think they should have been like, you know what? Instead of just making it like a paper company that doesn't really exist,
Make
that's
them
now
do
bankrupt. We're gonna like actually create a real company
Make
and
them
have
do
them do
something.
real
Yeah. And then you can be like, see?
He's here.
He went to the Boys and Girls Club.
It's like when you're basically laundering
planting
money.
trees on the side of the freeway.
At that point, he really is getting paid to do charity with like the 501.
Y'all messed up. To be so smart, y'all jacked this up. Listen, it's shady. I think if other teams, if they were allowed to do this, then salary cap wouldn't matter. You pay your guys through a third party. I actually, on some shady stuff, somebody asked me to do some shady stuff through a third party. And thankfully, I told that person, no, I'm not trying to get caught up in this whole situation.
I think, to me, the biggest story to come from this isn't necessarily, yes, the big story is obviously Kawhi getting paid, the Clippers circumventing the salary cap by creating a third party and basically just laundering money for Kawhi through there.
Yep.
However, to me, it's noteworthy because I know there are a lot of Seattle people that are like, I don't care about the Clippers. Why is this? Just because Pablo Torre keeps uncovering a number of these crazy stories, and when you're watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and there's the 4 answers, and then they give the answer, you're like, oh, I knew that. I absolutely knew that. But it's only obvious once you see it. That's how I feel about what Pablo Torre finds. Like when he looks at it and he's like, oh, this, KL2. So I figured out that was Kawhi Leonard. And you're like, how did no one else follow this thread?
Because no one cared.
It's crazy.
And then he cares enough.
I would say the biggest impact is that, like, we all kind of have joked about this stuff going on in sports, but now this is a clear-cut example of this being a reality.
Yeah.
And I think if people are kind of looking at Tom Brady's final years with the Patriots, where he continually took less and less money every single year. And it was kind of like, well, okay, why is he doing this? I get that it's to build the team out.
Well, I get that your wife's a multimillionaire, but
she's a billionaire.
I think that there were Curtis, you're right. There were long held rumors that like Brady is still getting money from the organization. I want Pablo next. I don't care about the massive Boston audience there. I want Pablo next to dig into whether or not Brady ever took money directly from Robert Kraft, directly from the Patriots under the table. That's what I want to know. Because so often when we've talked about quarterback salaries, Bump, what's the number one thing you hear?
Tom Brady took
less money. Well, he took less money because he cares about winning, and that's why he got those trophies. Did he?
He's getting supplemented somewhere.
I've always wanted to believe it. Stephen A. Smith weighed in on the Clippers and Kawhi this morning on First Take.
That's the Kawhi Leonard I know. Doing nothing and getting paid for it. This man is a walking absentee on the ballot. This brother will check the absentee ballot as much as he possibly can throughout his career. So when I saw this report and it said money for doing nothing, I said, That's what made me pause. Not because of Steve Ballmer, not because of the Clippers, because of him. Because if there's a way for this brother to get money guaranteed without working, that's what that brother has done.
You cannot tell me Stephen A. Smith is bad at this. That's a hilarious take.
That is the best take when it comes to this. That is the best take, getting paid to do nothing. Now, let's not forget Kawhi Leonard, Defensive Player of the Year.
Sure.
NBA champion multiple times, right? One with the Spurs as well, one with Toronto. Duke and ball, but he ain't available all the time. They give you about 35 games.
It sounds like Curtis complaining about Greg Olson is what it sounds like. It's Stephen A. Smith channeling his best. Curtis just hating on
We all
him.
have our targets.
We all have our targets. We all have, the thing that we love to complain about. And for Curtis, it's Greg Olson. And apparently for Stephen A. Smith, it's Kawhi Leonard getting paid for doing nothing. Next story. Did Astros pitcher Framber Valdez throw at his own catcher on Tuesday night? We've actually gotten a couple questions about this already on the text line because obviously a lot of Mariners fans saw this one. Now, Framber denies it, but the video isn't doing him any favors. This is what he said with his interpreter after the game.
This is a pitch that I wanted to throw. I called for that pitch, so I wanted to throw that pitch. Unfortunately, he was able to get it and hit it for a grand slam. And I was able to locate it. And afterwards, what happened with us, we just got crossed up. I called for that pitch. I threw it, and we got crossed up. When we went down to the dugout, I excused myself with him, and I said sorry to him, and I take full responsibility for that.
Astros GM Dana Brown spoke with Houston 790 AM about the incident.
Let's not, fault Framber for being a competitive, mean guy that will, do whatever he has to do to win. But let's keep him under control. And that's the way I see it. And I don't want to pull that competitive nature from him. I want him to continue to compete, and we'll work with them and try to get him settled down when he gets a little frustrated. It's all a part of the game. It's all a part of sports. And you know from looking at championships all across every sport, there's always this competitor that you have to calm down.
Do you buy it?
No, I don't buy it.
You saw it.
I know body language when I see it. Here's the thing, too. That was Cesar Salazar back there. It was not their main catcher, Diaz. If it was Diaz, I don't think he would do something like that. No. And also, that is distracting, right? The catcher waving like, no, stop it. You're already in the zone. It's like when you're swinging a golf club and someone talks in your backswing. You start your swing, it's a wrap. You are swinging the club. It is what it is. He showed no concern that he just hit his catcher in the ribs. The ribs, Cesar Salazar looks at him like, what the heck is going on? And then throws the ball back. How are we going to deny body language? We know what we saw. And yes, you got to keep him under control. But I kind of liked it, but it's not right.
Wait, what?
I kind of like that he is that gritty and grimy that he'll do something like that.
To his own catcher? No,
hey, listen,
no.
If the Mariners had a little bit of that in them.
No.
A little bit of that.
If Logan threw at Cal.
I'm not saying
Lineup?
throw at Cal. I'm saying just
like, Logan,
that,
what are you doing?
That type of intensity. I'm not saying that specifically, but that type of intensity, we might not have lost 2 games to the dang Rays.
Okay, mine is throwing at Cal.
You're not throwing at Cal.
I'm picking up what you're saying because it's the same thing I was saying. Let's start a fight. Let's do it. Fight. NFL headlines coming up at noon.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing. Mention you heard it from me and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Tune in September 7th as the Seahawks take on San Francisco. Kickoff is at 1:05 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the biggest and best in the Pacific Northwest.
Upgrade your home's energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy
weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bill Barnwell for ESPN had a challenge for himself. It was to pick some division winners that will repeat, pick division winners that won't, pick some new wild card teams. So he's got a bit of a format he has to follow. For instance, he wrote, hey, the team I'm choosing to not win the division is the Bucks, even though I absolutely think they will. There were weaknesses with the format, but he's trying to be creative. So that meant for him choosing the Rams not to win the NFC West. And his reasoning is one that a lot of you would probably have. We know that the Rams' defensive line is good. We know Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua are good, but he said, look, it's week 1, and Matthew Stafford's week to week, day to day. He's dealing with a back injury that kept him out of practices and out of training camp. There were reports he would need an epidural, and he's going to be going through with regular pain injections. This isn't week 10 Matthew Stafford at 37 years old trying to get through the season into the playoffs. This is week 1. He will not be feeling better next week. This is the best his body will feel all season long, and he's needing shots to kill the pain. So there's some regular doubt there. He said if Matthew Stafford was healthy, I'd have full faith in this team. They're really, really, really good, but they are top heavy. Instead of choosing the Seahawks, though, to win the NFC West, he chose the equally eligible, because they didn't make the playoffs, 49ers, pointing to the fact that the 49ers, even though they've moved on from Debo, were one of the most injured teams last year. 2023's NFL Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey, didn't play a game until November 10th. This team, according to FTN Fantasy, lost more games due to injury than any other team in football. So even though they're not heavily favored to get to a Super Bowl, and even though you would expect some regression as they lose some skill players or those players get older, in his mind, this should be a team that people should be watching out for, that could be really good if they stay healthy. Now, fitting that the Seahawks and 49ers play in week 1, should we be looking at the 49ers differently? They're favored in this one here at Lumen.
Going back to Matthew Stafford, spinal. That's what's going on with him.
Spinal.
Okay. The 49ers. Guess who's listed as a starter offensively over there?
11 guys.
MVS listed as a starter.
Oh, yeah, they just activated him.
Activated him from practice squad. You got DeMarcus Robinson, who's banged up. Jacob Cowan, who's banged up. I'm telling you, MVS can still play, and I hope he don't light this team up on Sunday. You know what? Personally, for him, they can light the Seahawks defense up, just don't win. If that happens, then everyone's good, because I think MVS is still a baller. But going further than that, Christian McCaffrey, like you mentioned, is starting the season off healthy. Brock Purdy, healthy. George Kittle, still a top 5 tight end in this league. Kyle Juszczyk, the best fullback in this game. We know how they use him offensively. Trent Williams, old, but still considered one of the best in the game. You got Brian Robinson, who they just brought over from the Commanders. You have Sky Moore, who is a good returner for these guys. Offensively, they are going to be okay. Defensively, you draft Mykel Williams. You still got Nick Bosa. Fred Warner is still that guy over there. And Jair Brown is a solid safety. if we're going off of just what we know about teams and their personnel, yeah, the 49ers should be picked over the Seahawks. Because I just named, and then, did I say Brock Purdy? A $50 million quarterback, a guy who can run that offense, who is proven. I still think Sam Darnold probably has a more active arm than him, but Brock Purdy knows his offense. He's been proven. Yeah, they should be picked. At this point of the season, they should be picked over the Seahawks because we don't have the same questions on offense when we talk about their personnel. Our questions are, is Christian McCaffrey going to hold up? How old is Trent Williams? Can Ricky Pearsall take another step? But we've seen Ricky, we've seen Juwan, we've seen MVS, we've seen Kittle, we've seen Kyle Juszczyk. Yeah, they should be favored. And that's fine. That don't mean they can't get got. That'll mean that after week 1, Sam Darnold could take a step forward. This offense can run the football, and you can beat these guys. Yeah, but this is all preseason stuff, man. It's like preseason rankings for college football. I can't stand it because you don't know what these teams are going to look like. Obama, number 8 in the country. Yeah, this got beat by FSU.
21 now.
Who wasn't even ranked. You know, that's like the first 2 weeks of any season, especially a sport where you play one game a week. Who freaking knows? All you're doing is going off of what they did last year, who's coming back, what you think they're going to do. I'm fine with the Seahawks being the underdog because I think this underdog can still beat this team.
Yeah, we had Rob Staten on with us yesterday, and he not only said, I don't think they should be an underdog, and he was a little surprised, but he said, I think the Seahawks could win the NFC West. He likened San Francisco more to the Seahawks in like 2017 when he was like, yeah, you're still a really good team. You're a really good roster, clearly. But you get the feeling that your best years are behind you. Like you're looking at the names, thinking they have all the potential, and with that have expectations. But like you can't see a path up. It's just kind of like, can they maintain? From the 425, Stacy, what will you say when the Rams and Stafford rock your Seahawks? This time of year is notorious for deception. I think the NFL has a lot of deception. I do not think the Rams are pretending Matthew Stafford is hurt. There's no benefit from that. No one is questioning whether or not Matthew Stafford will play for this team. It might be some teams, maybe you're preparing for Jimmy G, maybe you're preparing for a world with or without Matthew Stafford, but like this is not deception that's going to drastically give the Rams some kind of benefit heading into any game. I think Matthew Stafford really is dealing with some back issues, and I think the deception, at least according to some analysts that think this, is that the injury might be a little worse. That the deception is that Matthew Stafford is going to need a lot of maintenance, and they're pretending that like, no, he's good to go. We're excited to get him out there.
Where's the thing? I don't see him listed anywhere as day-to-day, but that's how they're going to treat him. That's how you should treat a 37-year-old quarterback entering his 17th year in the season. If he has a pinky injury, man, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't need to do anything. As long as his wind is good, his legs are still strong, he'll be able to throw that football. He knows this offense. And it could be more than what people are leading on to be because you don't want the defense to have an edge. Okay, he can't move. Well, they're going to try to smack him anyway. You know, maybe send a bit more pressure because, you know, his back is jacked up. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. He just had something wrong with his foot, and they downplayed the heck out of it. No, he's all right. You have to report it because this is the NFL. This ain't hockey where they just say lower body injury, upper body injury,
body injury,
not feeling good. You know, like this NFL because there's a lot more money on the lines, too, when it comes to bettors as well.
Can you imagine?
They have to tend to that crowd.
An injury report that just says like body, or an injury report that says he's just not right today. He's just, you know, we aren't going to tell you anything at all. You don't know if it's a hamstring. You don't know if it's a groin. You don't know if his knee is now missing. All you know is just he's just not feeling today.
Yeah.
We just didn't have him out on the ice. Oh, my heart, my sympathies for hockey reporters. Tough gig. Watch live high school football this Friday for the Seattle Sports Game of the Week presented by STSPN. The first matchup pits the number 1 ranked Sumner Spartans. I almost went to that high school. Well, no, I almost went to high school in Sumner.
Really?
Yeah, we almost moved, but then I went to Tyee instead.
You would have. They won a state championship last year in football.
I've always said that.
Coach Keith Ross, big ups.
Against the number 10 ranked Lake Stevens Vikings, live from Lake Stevens High School. Watch the game live this Friday at 7 p.m. exclusively on the Seattle Sports app, seattlesports.com, and Seattle Sports YouTube page for full 2025 matchups. Visit seattlesports.com/high school.
Big up Coach Try, Lake Stevens, man. That's a good program. Y'all need to watch that game. 2 powerhouses going at it.
Who might be this year's Super Bowl halftime performer? Roger Goodell was asked that question on the Today Show. That's next.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passett with Brock and Salk.
Watching this team, how nervous should me and the rest of Nervous Mariners fandom be?
I think they're going to be fine. I still think they're a better team than the Rangers. I still think they're a better team than the Royals. And I understand that they haven't played that way. How many weeks are in a season? 24, so we got 4 weeks left. I believe in how they played in the first 18 weeks rather than the last 2. But it does not foretell doom necessarily.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Searching the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor Installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. What about when you want to sell your car, though? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how can you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Stacy Ross here, and that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. You can go to the website to see pictures of giant checks for yourself. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're wondering right now. How are they able to do it? It's not a consignment because you get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage, no more headaches. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. It's just that simple. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The New York Jets have already suffered a blow before Week 1 per Adam Schefter. New York Bears guard Elijah Vera Tucker suffered a season-ending torn tricep, the team seeking a second opinion before potential surgery. The Mariners fell to the Rays last night, dropping their second consecutive game. They've lost 4 of 5 on this road trip so far. Series finales today at 4:35 p.m. Pregame show at 3:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, we are going to hear from Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald, who's going to have his Wednesday press conference updates ahead of Week 1. The season's officially here. That's coming up at 12:15. So before we get to Seattle, let's take a look around the NFL. We are going to start with an update on who this year's halftime performer for the Super Bowl might be. Maybe. I don't know. Roger Goodell asked about it.
Is Taylor Swift invited to play the Super Bowl this year, the halftime show?
We would always love to have Taylor play. She is a special talent, and obviously she would be welcome at any time.
Is it in the works?
I can't tell you anything about that.
Is it a maybe?
It's a maybe.
Okay.
We'll take a maybe. It's a maybe.
I'm surprised he said it's a maybe, instead of just kind of continuing to dodge. He knows how to dodge. He knows how to say if Taylor Swift is absolutely not performing. Is it a maybe? I don't know. I'd love to have Taylor Swift. Like I said, I'm a big fan.
Taylor's
can do whatever
doing it.
She's
wants
doing
to
the
do.
halftime show, bro.
The last 2 years has been her world. She runs this. She caused a minor earthquake in Seattle with her music. Yeah, I've never seen people dress up as eloquently and as flamboyant as they do for her concerts. She is engaged to Travis Kelce. This is her world. It's Taylor's world, and we just live in it. Our Beyonce had her turn. Now it's time for Taylor Swift. I don't care anymore, man. Go ahead and play what you want to do. And yeah, I just don't care.
What if you got to choose a halftime show performer? What if you got to choose, like, you can make it a mix, or it can be one performer. But if Roger Goodell called you and was like, "Hey, Bump,"
I'm mixing it up.
Who do you want?
Tyler, the Creator.
Okay.
His album's fire.
Okay.
I'll throw a little Taylor. You know, you gotta. Who's hot right now? Like Sabrina Carpenter.
Mhm.
She's hot right now.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I'd mix it up. I have like 4.
Okay, that's good. You know what? That's good to appeal to, like, what's hot for, like, you know, kids, teens that are watching. Sabrina Carpenter, really good for that audience. I would be like, whoever is still alive from 2003 to 7 hip hop, let's bring them here. You know what I mean? I don't know who that list includes right now.
We had our run. Them folks ain't gonna let us do too many hip hop halftime shows in a row. You know, we had our run.
So great.
Yeah, Kendrick.
Iconic.
We had, when it was in LA, we had Snoop.
Rihanna
and Dre.
revealed her pregnancy.
I'm saying.
It's a great run.
We had a heck of a run. Now it's their turn.
We did.
It's their
turn. Travis Hunter was listed as a starting wide receiver and backup corner on Jacksonville's Week 1 depth chart. Liam Cohen, Duval spoke on how they came to that decision.
It does. You know, there's a few other positions that you have some math issues as well, but it definitely helps with the ability for Travis to play, you know, kind of fill up 2 spots so that we can have that flexibility with that other position, you know, possibly running back.
What do you think we'll see from Travis Hunter as he acclimates to an actual NFL schedule, actual NFL season?
I think this first week is just going to be a guessing game. They're going to go out there, see how he performs at the wideout spot. Can he tackle at the DB spot? He's not a very big dude, about 180, 85 pounds, but I've seen small guys make big plays all the time. No one really knows. You have to fill the depth chart in somehow, and then we're going to put him as a starter on offense and a starter on defense. I think initially he should be a wideout because that helps Trevor Lawrence. You need Trevor Lawrence to have a good year this year and sprinkle him in on defense. But I can see it shifting too. I can see them saying, all right, well, we need more help on defense. Let's go ahead and play him out there. They don't even know really what they want to do. They're just going to try it out this first week, give the people what they want to see, and then go from there.
The Ringer's Steven Ruiz has his first quarterback rankings of the season. Guess who comes in at number 1? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't.
Guess.
First QB rankings, let's see. Number 1, Joe Burrow.
No.
No? Josh Allen?
Nope.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Lamar Jackson tops the list for Steven Ruiz's newest addition. Again, he updates this throughout the season. Coming in at number 2, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert at 4, ahead of Joe Burrow at 5. Round out the top 5, Matthew Stafford coming in at number 6. You've got Geno Smith at number 9. And if you're, of course, wondering, as everyone is, where Sam Darnold comes in, it's number 21. He describes him as a fearless passer with a golden arm and a blind spot for pressure. Now, he's one spot behind Aaron Rodgers, one spot ahead of Bo Nix and Caleb Williams.
A blind spot for pressure. So he's pretty much saying he don't see it when it's getting at him. All right, cool. Well, Zach Charbonnet, let's protect and get into a 2 tight end sets. Max, protect that young man. Allow him to be comfortable back there. I'm all good with that. I'm not too concerned about preseason rankings at the quarterback spot. I would say, no, actually, I'm okay with it. I'm fine.
I think it's a bold list. For instance, he's got Baker Mayfield at 16. I think some people would have Baker a little bit high based on his production. Drake May and Tua Tagovailoa both ahead of Sam Darnold. And again, he's got nothing too surprising late. He's not super high on Michael Penix Jr., though Michael Penix Jr. has only had a couple appearances so far.
Yeah,
the rest of it's not really a surprise. Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, J.J. McCarthy, Joe Flacco, Spencer Rattler, Cam Ward, number 32.
I'm surprised Bo Nix is at 22. A lot of people are high on Bo Nix. I thought he'd be higher than that.
Yeah. Well, I think people are also just really high on Denver's defense. And then, like, the whole snapshot of Denver and the idea being, like, I think Bo could do something cool.
They ain't talking defense in this list. This is all quarterbacks.
No, I know, but I think that when, like, people are high on, we're changing their opinion on Bo, I think it was in part changing their opinion because the Broncos as a team started getting better.
No, I think Bo is just better. Forget the defense. Evaluating Bo,
yeah,
I'd put him, no disrespect to the homie Samuel, I'd put him in front of Sam. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. The Jets are facing Aaron Rodgers in their season opener, but head coach Aaron Glenn doesn't want to talk about New York's former quarterback.
That's been gone. So I'm not going to answer questions about guys that's not here and what I saw. Right now, I'm looking at what our guys can do. So, just like I said, I'm not going to sit there and answer questions on what I saw back then that's not relevant to right now.
I would admittedly be pretty sick of answering questions about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Bump, as a reporter, as a host, as a show, we talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers this offseason.
If I'm Aaron Glenn, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I got
There's
Justin
one
Fields
Aaron
as my
we're talking
quarterback.
about.
Who's Aaron?
Me, Aaron Glenn.
Oh, there you go. I call him Coach Glenn, But
respectful.
I would be tired of it too. We're about to play a game. Justin Fields is our quarterback. Sauce is our DB. We just signed Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall's our running back. Let's focus on what is here. It means absolutely nothing. I hit him with the Coach Macdonald quote. Bro, I don't even care. I don't. I'm done with that.
Did the hype about Aaron Rodgers and where he would sign match up with what you think he could do for a team? Because I will admit that I've kind of come around to thinking Aaron Rodgers certainly not going to be prime Aaron Rodgers for obvious reasons, but maybe could be better than I think.
I think he can. What concerned me a little bit, I saw some highlights of him at practice. He got a 42-year-old run for sure. That giddy up is 42. I'm like, oh, y'all better protect because he is not avoiding. He is not getting outside the pocket. He is standing there and throwing the rock. But I think he is smart enough and his arm is still talented enough to where he could be a good quarterback in this league. And he's got a weapon on the outside. They just got to be able to run and play defense.
And the play fake is still sharp. The arm's still good.
I'm telling you, that 42-year-old giddy up. I synced it. I was like, whoo, all right.
You know who I saw running around a lot at practice? Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he's still exactly the same Pete Carroll that was here 10 years ago. That guy doesn't age. I think it's a plant-based diet.
Keep running sprints. Keep doing it.
The Seahawks have announced their uniform combo for Week 1 against the 49ers. It's navy tops with gray pants. Again, that home opener is this Sunday, 1:05 p.m. against, obviously, San Francisco. Divisional matchup.
I like that look. I really do. It's a smooth, clean look. Going to have the contrast and colors. There's going to be red everywhere. Every game I do my third quarter lap, and the wildest it is during that third quarter lap is when you play the 49ers. Because the Niners fans, they show up like they're your cousin, and they just go into the pantry, eat whatever they want, don't take their shoes off. They act like this is their house. So apparently it's going to be their house with 53% of the tickets being sold belonging to them. But no, I like the matchup. I like the colors. I'm with that.
All right, coming up next, we'll hear the latest from Mike Macdonald for his Wednesday press conference.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. And this week's guest, starting left guard, Gray Zabel.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Paid for by Hanson Hers Health. Hanson Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at 4hers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's 4hers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
Upgrade your home's energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com. UNLV.com.
Hey homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
At 65 years old, Brian has a rather demanding hobby.
My biggest passion is snow skiing, and I ski between 70 and 80 days per year, and I ski instruct at a private resort in Montana.
Needless to say, that can be a bit tough on the joints.
When this knee started to bother me, I thought I'm doomed.
That's when Brian decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
If I did yard work or skied a few days in a row, I was fighting swelling and pain and no sleep and all sorts of problems, and that has absolutely gone away.
So are you back on the slopes?
I mean, I had a 14-day stretch with clients where I skied every day and I had no problem. It was fine. It was just like, I felt like new.
So I'm guessing you would recommend this to others.
Oh, I already have. I've told everyone that'll listen.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's really, truly a miracle.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, it is a Wednesday now officially during the NFL regular season, and that means that head coach Mike Macdonald is set to step up to the podium with the latest on his team. He's scheduled to take to the podium now at 12:15. He's not quite there yet. Once he is, Matt will interrupt us. And it'll sound like this.
Shut up, the coach is talking. Shut up, shut up.
Which we have said, okay, fine, you can interrupt us very rudely. And it's Matt's favorite part of every Wednesday.
It really is pretty great.
And so that's your sign that that Mike Macdonald is stepping up to talk about this team, and Matt's going to throw us there live. So it'll be very sudden. It'll interrupt a conversation, but it's because we're really just waiting for the head coach to get up here. That's who you guys really want to hear from right now. And a question about uniform combos really quick. I have someone saying that the gray pants, navy top, which the Seahawks are going to wear week 1 against the 49ers, is the worst uni combo. I don't think that's the case, though I will say this. I do not love gray in uniforms.
I do.
Well,
looks great.
You're a kook. You're wearing gray literally right now.
Literally. The Mariners need to bring back the grays, too, honestly.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Oh, you'd rather have the teal than the grays? Yeah.
I accept the teals because it is a quintessential Mariners look. I prefer a navy. I prefer the Sunday, kind of like any kind of throwback look. I prefer 10 times out of 10. Of course,
everyone prefers the throwback.
But no,
look.
I don't love. I will say this: I would rather have Curtis. What was the era with the green sleeves in the navy? I prefer gray pants over that. That I never want to see.
That was.
What was that? 2000.
That was like back in my day, like 8, 9, 10.
That was.
Yeah, it was brutal.
They were short-lived for good reason.
Ugly as heck.
I never want to see
Who approved that?
Someone who shouldn't have.
That was ridiculous.
Someone who shouldn't have been in charge of unis. So, like, yes, I don't think gray is the worst possible thing you can do. I don't think it's their worst uni combo. I didn't love the rivalry uniforms. I'm excited to see them, though. Maybe I'll feel differently when I see them, against the Cardinals for Thursday Night Football? Is that when they're doing it? Or when?
No, the Seahawks aren't wearing theirs till week 16.
Okay, week 16. Well, maybe I'll feel differently when we actually see them in real life. The green with the navy
And
blue.
then the helmets don't even match.
And you know what I don't like is the green overlays the top of the sleeve, so it looks like you've got your pads and this like practice jersey on over a blue T-shirt. It looks horrible. I flipped the colors.
A good idea.
No, that was bad. I'm glad it was very short-lived. I didn't love the Millennium Blue either. But it's okay.
Blue. Oh yeah, is that what I
Yeah,
was
but
wearing?
it was such an otherwise iconic era that I'm okay with it. You know, there was some good Seahawks football in
Our
those.
white on whites were fire in that era, but those blue,
Yeah.
I got that hanging up in my house right now.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, we're waiting to hear from Mike Macdonald, looking for some injury updates, looking for some of the latest on this team. What did you make of his answer yesterday, a little earlier this week, Monday, when asked, hey, is it a problem MVS is with the 49ers? And he was just like, look, this happens all the time.
All the time.
A question I still saw even today when you talked about MVS.
It's common. It's very common. It's just because it hasn't happened in recent history with a name like MVS with this organization. People are like, what the heck's going on? He's going to leak all this information. He will give little nuggets about personnel and maybe a situation or two. But MVS is not the reason the Niners win or lose this game. He doesn't have the secret file that he's bringing to Shanahan at a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere when no one's around and slide it across the table.
Where
and
is
saying,
this Dunkin'?
Here. I would assume I go to the Bay all the time. I don't think I've seen a Dunkin' Donuts in the Bay.
I don't think there's definitely not a Dunkin' in Washington, which is a crime.
Yeah. Is there a Dunkin' Donuts in the Bay?
I don't know, but let's say that that's where they're meeting. It's not some secret thing. What's he probably telling them? Like the Seahawks have done the opposite. They brought in DJ Reed. They added 2 Rams players that were cut by this team and a 49ers player. There are people that were with the Rams or 49ers a couple weeks ago currently with the Seahawks on their practice squad.
Well, you distracted me.
Oh, sorry.
There is a Dunkin' Donuts, several in the Bay. So
Okay.
it's real. I'm just trying to be factual here. They probably did meet up at a Dunkin' Donuts. I forgot your question. What'd you say?
What information do you actually get from a player that was just
personnel?
with the team?
You know, Spoon doesn't like it when you get off the line of scrimmage and do this. And on third down, they might try to do this. You're not sitting there for hours taking notes with MVS and changing your whole game plan. You've been watching film on the Seattle Seahawks for the last 3 weeks before MVS even got there. And you have so many people in your scouting department or whatnot. You depend on those guys, the guys you are paying to watch hours and hours and hours of filming and have all these cutouts. You depend on them. You don't depend on the guy who just got there. So it's more personnel type stuff. What guys like to do, what they don't like to do. I'm sure he can help with scheme a little bit, but nothing groundbreaking. The Niners are a well-run organization.
I had a listener text in and say, is there any advantage Seattle has in technically debuting a new offense against Shanahan? It's a Shanahan offense, so he's seen it, but is there an advantage there in that all the questions we have about the Seahawks offense also means other teams have those questions?
Yeah, you do a little bit because what you're going to do is go back and watch Kubiak film with the New Orleans Saints. Same thing most of us analysts did as soon as Kubiak got the job, and now you're trying to imagine this personnel in that group. I remember we were playing, I forgot, maybe we were playing Green Bay one year, and they had a new defensive coordinator, and we watched nothing but the Buffalo Bills film because that was the defense that this coordinator was running. And then you just try to imagine the players in that the current players in that scheme. So there's some imagination that has to go down. But after the first week, you know, every week you get more and more and more information. But that's why that's why the first week is so tough because especially in this situation, we don't know what Kubiak's going to do.
Yeah.
You know what we did with the Saints, but you don't have a Kamara over here. You know, the personnel is just different.
Speaking of personnel, someone said, well, don't we have just a linebacker from the Niners? That's a nothing burger. Sure, I get what you're saying in that like a veteran receiver might bring more information about what this offense is going to do. Well, then flip it for Seattle's benefit. Seattle has Cooper Kupp here. Do you think that Cooper Kupp and his knowledge of the Rams is going to make Seattle beat the Rams? Or do you think that Seattle fielding a better offense and fielding their best defense is going to beat the Rams? Like, what's more likely to make a difference in this game? The things you actually prepare for, the decisions you make in the draft and free agency, or Cooper Kupp really having a deep understanding of Sean McVay? This team already has an understanding of what Sean McVay wants to do. Likewise, Kyle Shanahan already knows what Clint Kubiak likes to do. Clint Kubiak has been part of his staff. This is not going to be new information. It's his offense.
Cooper Kupp is definitely going to watch the scout offense go up against the number one defense and pull a guy to the side and say, hey, this is what they're thinking here. You know, you might want to look out for this. But he's not holding team meetings. Here's what the Rams do, guys. He doesn't have a PowerPoint talking about what the Rams want to do. It's more just situational stuff. He'll drop some nuggets.
All right, Mike Macdonald's still not up to the podium. A little late here, Coach. What's going on? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit break. We're going to come back. We're going to listen to the coach.
Touchdown Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot, the home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Rick Riz here with Keith Dashafee, a local owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. With your help and the Improve Your Play program, Pella has chosen a local youth athletic program to receive a $5,000 grant. Keith, who's the lucky winner this week?
Rick, we could not be more excited to announce Mount Baker Youth Baseball as one of 2 winners of this $5,000 grant.
Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington for helping our local youth thrive.
This Saturday and Sunday, 500 builders will gather in Bellevue for the longest-running LEGO fan exhibition in the world, BrickCon 2025. Maidenbauer Center this weekend is your chance to see the most amazing models created by LEGO hobbyists from around the country. Purchase current, past, and custom LEGO sets, parts, and minifigs. BrickCon was awarded Event of the Year and the premier LEGO convention of the Pacific Northwest. Tickets still available at brickcon.org. Get your LEGO on at brickcon.org.
Goodbye baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners' postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out into the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part, Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Seahawks getting ready for a Week 1 matchup against the 49ers. Mike Macdonald speaking with reporters now.
Their identity on, their respective offenses, which is really cool, and it's probably through a lens and a function of the people that are on their team, the personnel. You think about the Rams being more of an 11 team. You think San Francisco, you're thinking more 21. You're thinking us, probably a little bit more multiple personnels. How they deploy those people is really interesting. But, I think those things are common threads.
Condensed splits, what does that allow those offenses to do?
Well, it's a lot of things. I mean, in the run game, it allows you to account for extra hats in the box. A lot of times it's free access in the pass game. In the action game, it creates some of the same angles that you have in the run game. Man, say access, timing, hats in the run game, probably the most. Those are challenges on defense. It's like, hey, how do you play these things? And when your count changes in time, how do you apply your rules? And fortunately, we get a lot of time on task for that type of stuff.
Clay Kubiak moving into that OC role this year, does that change anything about how you're evaluating what the Niners have put on tape offensively? I know it's still Shanahan's system, but does that change anything?
It's an interesting question. I haven't looked at it through that lens. It's tough to tell off in preseason nowadays. Everybody just runs their base stuff, and then you're going to get some fun. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of things you're going to pay attention to, maybe big shifts in philosophy or how they're using people or people that haven't played, maybe what position they're playing, things like that. But you can't put too much stock into it. So there's really not any sample size for us to go off of from this year's, going into from last year. So that's one of the challenges you have in a new coordinator, on their, their defense and their special teams. It's just hard to say, hey, it's different than being in week 6. Hey, we have a 5-game sample here where they've had enough time to kind of declare how they're going to operate. So you have to take that into account as your game plan and as you call the game.
Has that changed a lot more in the last few years with the way teams are approaching the preseason now?
I think so, yeah. I mean, normally, when you used to have the 3rd preseason game that you'd use those snaps as part of your breakdown, or whenever the starters were in there, you'd have a higher sample size. So, yeah, it's definitely shifted.
A few years ago, the 49ers were 31st in the NFL in early down passing rate. And then the last few years, they've risen up to 13th. How do you kind of separate trends that you can trust and what's going on with a different team versus maybe aberrations or other things that cause them to change their tempo?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's probably personnel driven. Probably speaks to their confidence in the quarterback, Purdy, and how well he's playing and how decisively he plays. It's probably the number one thing, probably driver behind it. I think it's also different based on the team, what type of run pass tendencies, things like that. You can go down some deep holes now when you're trying to research, whether they're going to throw it or pass it. And those are like the risks that you're weighing in your mind as you're calling games. And Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that's we spend a lot of our time on how we call defenses and how they're going to operate. But my exposures with San Francisco in the last couple of years, it's very evident how confident they are in their quarterback.
What stands out about Shanahan, not necessarily the designer of an offense, but just the play caller on game days?
Well, he just does a great job of keeping you off balance. They deploy their people different than probably any other team, so that's something that you have to. It's a focal point of how you focus on them. People don't do conventional things out of their respective formations. I mean, McCaffrey's a great, use check. Those guys are great examples of when they had Debo, great examples of how they use their people in unorthodox manners. But he does a great job. I mean, the stats prove it. The tape proves it. The disciplined club. They play tough. They play physical. They do a lot of great stuff.
How's Torrey Horton doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great.
You expect him to be full or limited ramp up, or do you know what his stats will be doing?
We'll see. We'll see today on how he ends up being, I guess, described his practice participation.
When you look back at a defensive game that you felt went well, how often is it the game plan you had going in that you think you credit that to versus adjustments you make during the game?
Well, I think initially the function, if we can go in with a very simple, clear objective on what we're doing, that helps us get off to a fast start. But the NFL these days, you have to do a great job of diagnosing of, hey, this is what they're trying to attack. This is what we're playing well. These are things that we need to avoid. You're not going to be perfect starting games out. I mean, the record shows that we're not perfect starting games. We're trying to be better, but it's both. It's how you start the game, the clarity. Can you start fast? And that's not just like whether or not you're in right plays. It's guys being. There's a lot of things that go into how you start a game, how well your guys are playing, how well they execute, etc. But it's a lot of. I would say there's decisions that are made throughout the game too that are critical in how well you end up closing games out.
You need to see how Uchenna does in practice this week to know if where he's going to be for Sunday or.
Yeah, we'll just kind of let Uchenna's situation play itself out right now.
Back to the starting of games, do you tend to simplify and let the guys do less?
I wouldn't say so. I don't want to call it like. To me, it's simplifying is more. If you rephrase that like clear, what we're trying to achieve, what we're calling. That's we want it to be really clear to start the game. But we're not gonna. I mean, we're gonna do what we do. For the most part.
You guys created more unblocked pressures than most teams in the league last year, and against the 49ers, you had a particularly high rate of unblocked pressures.
Does that mean like rushers that weren't accounted for, or guys that won rushes?
Yeah. So
is it both, or is it?
Oh, sorry, guys that had no blockers, that there was no one accounted for to block them.
Okay.
So are all pressures created equal? Pressure that way versus pressure another way?
I think that's a little bit of a. I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds like we're doing cool stuff, but like I think it's a little misleading because the quarterbacks know when there's unblocked guys, and if they have answers for it, a lot of that might not be the best thing for that situation. So sometimes it is. The better play is designing something where you can create a matchup or create a movement where you're going to win and the quarterback thinks he has time. And it's really a function of the situation and the play that the offense is in. So it's cool to have guys and put pressure on quarterbacks, speed the clock up. That there's definitely a time and a place for that. And there's a time and a place for Russian coverage or simulators or five-man pressures where you're anticipating getting blocked and then you're trying to take advantage of how they're going to block you.
Jake Bobo still in the protocol?
Yes.
Do you anticipate him clearing by Sunday?
Yeah, we'll see how the protocol goes.
When it comes to your run game, what do you like about where it is coming out of the preseason?
Well, it's hard to judge off of the latest exposure. In Kansas City, I felt like that was the run game that we envisioned for the most part. Green Bay felt like we could have ran it a little bit better in some spots. I think our practices have been on point and sharp. So, today's a big day to kind of get a feel for where we're at. But the guys are confident. I do feel like we continue to stack and move forward, which is all you can ask for at this point in the season.
You mentioned that things are still getting calibrated in week one, given all the unknowns. Does that change anything about the play calling or how you set up the game plan for week one in particular?
Yeah, sure. We want to. If you practice stuff from April to August 31st, and you say September 1, all right, guys, we're gonna take a right turn here, and we're gonna go operate over here because it might be the best, because this team operates a certain way. Like, I think you're jacked up. You gotta keep it, and you got to keep it in your wheelhouse, so to speak. So, of course you're gonna have wrinkles and things that are towards the other team, but our philosophy is we want to throw our fastballs as much as we can.
In adjusting or analyzing how you did stuff last year and making changes for this year, did you alter anything about your week in terms of how you spend your time for a game week?
I think it's the same sequence of things, Mike, but I think it's expedited where we're trying to get to solutions quicker so we can get to the end of the week and have a little bit more clarity earlier in the end of the week, which is a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of responsibilities for head coaches on Mondays, and that comes with the territory. So that's something that you have to be able to work through and count on your staff to come up with some great ideas and set the table for you. So when you start meeting together, you can make decisions quicker. And I think we're on that track.
There's a pretty big disparity between home and road records last year. I'm curious, when you look back at that, how much of that do you credit to opponents versus anything you guys could control to change that out?
Well, we spent a lot of time studying it, and we're constant. We're tweakers. We're kind of, we say chasing edges. We're always trying to figure out what's the best way to do stuff. So we're tweaking our away schedule too. We're treating our we've looked at our home operation from Friday to Sunday as something as different as, like, how do we get the guys to eat more frequently? Like, how can we help control that? I mean, we're kind of looking at everything. So yeah, there's definitely stuff that we've changed. But it's not like wholesale shifts. You're I say moving and shaking all the time about, hey, what's just the best for us and this team. So yeah, we're making those decisions all the time, especially at home.
Do you ask the team leaders or what's the player input on those changes?
Actually, I got some great feedback. Hey, they can encourage me to say whatever you feel like we need. Tell us on that, and we'll do it. So they've been awesome, which is normal. It's a little different than how you normally operate. Normally, you kind of give them a couple options, and they pick the best one, or you run it by them first. But they encouraged me to just make the decision on this one.
Did the changing your pregame routine that you guys are doing?
That's part of it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, did you like that? I mean, what you guys have?
Gotten great feedback. Guys really like it.
What was the main purpose? I mean, just was there kind of?
I can't show you all the secrets, Bob. I mean, there's reasoning behind it. We've done studies on other sports and studies about, like, high performance and what allows you to be at your best as soon as possible, and those are the things that went into those decisions.
Do you have a leadership council like you had last year, and how much has that changed from who was on it last year?
It's changed. Pretty big turnover. I mean, the usual suspects, the vets that were here, the Leos, the Jay Reeds of the world, they're still there, but it's a young group, and it's really cool. I mean, we got a young football team, so you can be in year 2 or you can be in year 10. We kind of look at it through the same lens, but it's been an awesome group. They've been phenomenal.
Lines of veteran leaders. Cooper Kupp, obviously we've all seen the numbers and the production over the years, but what does he bring, just like kind of, whether it's in the locker room or in the meeting room, like what does he bring to this team?
I mean, credibility, a great football player. Probably the unspoken thing is he's been around the block and he's seen it done at a high level, and he's an independent thinker. So he's kind of like, I just love that mentality of, hey, like, I know we do it like this, but why? Or can we tweak it, or can we make this a little better? I've seen it like this. And so, but it's always coming through a lens of respect and trying to do it the best way. And I think as a coach, if you have the same mentality, you can come up with some really great solutions. And I felt like we've done that several times since he's been here. So he's been an asset to me. He's been an asset to Clint. He's been an asset to our offense, and he's been an asset to our football team.
The tweaks that you made to, like, your operation, did you seek the feedback from the leadership council or the team as a whole?
The operation, like going into the weekend?
Yeah.
We just let them know we were looking into it, and then once we started to come up with ideas, we ran it by them, and they've been on board.
In your talks with Sherm, Mike, Rob, Marshawn, and the podcast stuff, they were interviewing you, but did you learn anything about them that you hadn't known?
It's weird for me to be on a podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, you know me. I'm not like I'm pretty awkward. Like, you know, you got a camera going. So it's once you kind of get past the fact that you're just having a conversation. Hopefully, there's some like. But I was thinking a lot about that initially in the conversation. So, but I mean, talk about just how lucky how fortunate we have these Seahawk legends. You know, Hall of Fame guys that. Are invested in our team, you know, and want to spend time with us. And I was really impressed by, like, normally I was expecting to just go on and kind of like shoot the breeze with them, but you could tell they've like done their homework. They like I thought the questions were like incredibly thoughtful and insightful. And shoot, I want to go on there and hear what like Marshawn thought about stuff. You know, I want to know what Sherm thinks about certain things. So hopefully that came through. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Tyrese Knight, do you anticipate him being a full participant today?
It'll be either full or not. He'll practice, yeah.
Can we quote you on that?
It's like last year. We had the same conversation last year.
Anything else?
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. That was the latest from Mike Macdonald. Some takeaways from a Wednesday press conference. A little tight-lipped on some injuries, maybe not willing to give away a lot heading into this one, which completely understand, totally fair. On the other side of things, the 49ers promoted wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling to their active roster, which we all anticipated. The news earlier was that they had signed him to the 53-man roster, moved on from wide receiver Russell Gage. So promoting Marquez is not a surprise bump. You already talked about kind of anticipating what he could bring to their team for this actual game. He will be playing in the game, or at least be active for this game. I would anticipate playing. I'm really curious to see this year's Seahawks. Mike Macdonald last year inherited a team where he certainly had influence over, right, like his defensive scheme, certainly some of the I would imagine personnel moves that they made, things like that. But we had talked about how there wasn't a ton of pressure. You're a first-year head coach. This team didn't make the playoffs. The expectation is that you just improve on your record. And they did. Like, they did improve. They improved as a defense, especially in the second half of the season. What's the expectation for this year? I think he's facing more as a second-year head coach.
Expectations are just to build off of what you started and how you finished that last season. They were a top 5, top 8 defense by the end of the year, if you break down just like the last, I guess, quarter, if you want to say, of the season. And then you've added to that. You've added another safety in MRI, and you have a lot of guys come back as well. Tyrese Knight is one that concerns me a bit. If he's not able to go, who did we speak to yesterday? Was it yesterday? We spoke to a football guy. Who was it? I don't know. Maybe it was Trey Wingo.
Rob Staten yesterday?
Yes, it was Rob. Thank you. He said, I asked him if there was a position of concern, and he mentioned a linebacker spot because of this. Because if Tyrese Knight isn't able to go, you have to rely on guys who are backups for a reason. No disrespect to Drake Thomas. No disrespect to Chaz Surratt, I believe, the guy that we got from the 49ers. But they're backups for a reason. So, yeah, that's one of my main concerns is what does this defense look like if you don't have your starting linebackers in there? Everywhere else, I think you're good. Even if, say, you were to get banged up a bit at the safety spot, you got Imawari. Say you were banged up a little bit at the corner spot, you got Nehemiah Pritchett, who is serviceable. But when you got a backup linebacker in there, I think you feel the effects more than if a guy were banged up on the outside.
Some key injuries at wide receiver. Jake Bobo's still in concussion protocol. Mike Macdonald just said we'll see how protocol goes in terms of his week 1 availability. You can't rush that. You can't play your way through it. You're either cleared or you're not. So TBD on Jake Bobo. Torrey Horton's working through an ankle injury. Mike Macdonald did say he's doing great. They're going to see how he is today in practice, which hasn't begun yet. So I guess I would anticipate if you're saying on Wednesday, yeah, he's doing good. We'll see how he is in practice, how he ends up being today. I would anticipate he plays. I don't know how optimistic I am that Jake Bobo clears concussion protocol. That's tough. Like, again, this sounds dumb, but either you're good to go or you're not.
Yeah, concussions are there's no like with concussions, with most injuries, every situation is different. But for some, you can kind of be like, all right, this is a 2-3 weeker. With concussions, I would check on him tomorrow and see how he's feeling. And you don't want to play with that either. Obviously, with all the information we know about concussions, it's a lot more than back in my day. Back in my day, I couldn't sleep. I had to be in a dark room. I couldn't talk to nobody. Mom had to wake me up every 2 hours. They know more about it now, and they're a bit more cautious about it now, as they should be. Because Jake Bobo, you're going to need him. I mean, you got rid of MVS for a reason because he didn't play special teams, and now Bobo is banged up. He's a special teams guy. But what that does, it creates more opportunity for Derek Young and for Cody White. So I hope Jake Bobo is healthy, but if not, I have no issues with Derek Young and Cody White.
That's a lot of unknown with your wide receiver group. What's your confidence level that Cooper Kupp can deliver more than some doubters think he will? I think most people look and go, oh, it's an old Cooper Kupp. So you have an old Cooper Kupp and JSN, and that's kind of how they see the wide receiver room for Seattle.
He don't move like an old Cooper Kupp. He doesn't move like the triple crown guy either, but he can be a number 2 on 90% of teams in the NFL, unless we're talking about Philly or Cincinnati or Miami, like teams with legit number 1s and number 2s. But no, Cooper Kupp is going to be just fine. The question with him is, can he stay healthy? How far into the season is he going to be able to go? If he stays healthy, he's a good number 2.
Yeah. I mean, again, this could be a wide receiver group that ends up surprising a lot of people. Maybe Horton, who, again, nursing an ankle injury right now, but Mike Macdonald said looks pretty good. We'll practice today. Maybe your wide receiver room ends up surprising a lot of people. I think that's a position group, though, that is entering the year with some doubt. Entering the room with a lot of optimism is entering the year with a lot of optimism is Seattle's defense. Their defensive line, Leonard Williams, you've got Byron Murphy entering another year, a lot of excitement around that. Your outside backers have had a massive question mark there with Chenna. He was activated from PUP. We are hoping that he can go. Asked about it, though, Mike Macdonald said, we'll let Chenna's situation play itself out right now. So there's going to be information later today about whether or not he practices. When would you worry about Chenna?
I'm already worried.
When would it be like if he doesn't practice Friday and they say we'll take him up to game time? You're he's not playing.
See, I'm not with Chenna. I don't anticipate him playing a lot early anyway. Even if he is healthy, good to go, I don't expect him to play a lot because you got to get into football shape. So I would start worrying about him as far as availability for the season if we get to like week 3 and he's not ready. Because you take your time with Chenna. I mean, you want him out there on the field, but you got some guys who can play some ball. Mm-hmm. You got Derek Hall, excuse me. You got Boye Mafe. DeMarcus will be out there. You want Ivy, who had a decent preseason. You want him out there, but it's all about the marathon, man. This is forget the sprint.
I remember when Derek Hall was one of our first interviews of training camp, and we were both talking about how excited we were for this season. And one thing that we noted is, like, this guy's really confident. Mm-hmm. He sounds like he has grown a lot, not just physically, putting in time in the weight room and putting in time with his body and trying to be as strong as he possibly can, but mentally sounding much more sure of himself. Do you expect a breakout season from him? Maybe a big step forward from someone else on that defense? And I'm not talking about, like, we know Julian Love will be good, but like someone that can take a big step.
No, yesterday I pointed out him and Boye Mafe, and I believe they will because of the understanding of this defense, the natural maturation that happens when you have X amount of snaps in the league, and just the knowledge and confidence that you have. We talk about the confidence from Derek Hall. We felt it. We saw it. That's one of the first things we said to each other when he left the room after our interview. It was like, he's different. He feels different. He looks different. He's getting the fights out there. Yeah, he has to have a breakout season. So does Boye Mafe, especially if you're anticipating that Uchenna Nwosu isn't going to be on the football field possibly that first week. But I think they can handle it. I'm not worried about this defense. I am not worried. They're going to get beat at times. They're going to get gashed. Big plays will be made. But I'm not concerned about the resilience of this defense and the experience that they have. You're not counting on a bunch of rookies out there. Nick Emery will play, but you're not counting on Byron Murphy, the rookie, to fill the gaps. You're not counting on Tyrese Knight, the rookie, to get downhill and make tackles. Everyone on this defense, minus Nick, who you expect to make plays from, has experience and understands his defense.
Okay, so then with the Seahawks, against the 49ers specifically in week 1, what are you concerned about?
I'm concerned with their offense. I'm concerned with with the Seahawks offense against their defense. Just because I don't know, I just haven't seen it. Sam has to prove it. Ken Walker got to stay healthy. O-line got to go. But if we're talking about the 49ers offense, they got big playability. George Kittle, one of the best in the game. Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the game. I know he's old, but he still has big playability. NVS is still a good receiver. Pearsall, who showed last year, he has the ability. Dewan Jennings, who could be on some teams, I think he could be a number one receiver. He's just teamed up with Brandon Ayuk. It's the same old Niner stuff. And then you combine that with Shanahan calling plays. He knows what he's doing. But this is going to be a good battle for Mike Macdonald. Can he neutralize this potentially explosive 49ers offense?
All right, well, the Mariners have a battle of their own. That's coming up next.
Touchdown Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
It's the biggest car giveaway in the Northwest. We're giving away 30 cars in 30 days, September 1st through 30th. Mustang Madness at Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, Tacoma and Fife. Get one free entry daily. Earn additional entries just by playing your favorite games. Drawings every day at Tacoma and Fife. It's 30 cars in 30 days in September. Mustang Madness, only at Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, Tacoma and Fife. The entertainment capital of the Northwest, where excitement lives. Visit emeraldqueen.com for details.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor Installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Paid for by Hanson Hers Health. Hanson Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/radio. forhers.com/radio.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. For my friends at PCF Construction, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop, and boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners fell to the Rays last night, dropping their second consecutive game. They've now lost 4 of 5 on this road trip. Series finale today at 4:35 p.m. Pregame shows at 3:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. What's going on with the Mariners? What's going on? I need answers, maybe theories. Join this conversation, 866-979-3776. The Mariners have lost 4 of 5 on a road trip following their last road trip where they went 2 of 7. Now, going 2 of 7, they entered into that road series. I think they were like 30-30 on the road. So there wasn't necessarily a narrative that they were really bad on the road. We knew pitching wasn't as sound. And we thought, well, you're playing at T-Mobile. Park factors maybe at play there. As long as you keep winning at home and go 500 on the road, maybe that's good enough. Then they had a horrible road trip, and you thought, okay, well, they faced the Mets. Maybe you just got the good version of the Mets. They faced the Phillies. They're like a World Series favorite out of the National League. Maybe this next road trip will be different. You're facing the Rays, a team behind you in the standings. You're facing the Braves, a team with little to play for in a really disappointing year for them. That's not how it's gone. It has gone just like last time, where your pitching has struggled. Your team is just not getting it done. You're making mental mistakes. It just doesn't look good. It feels like bad baseball. It doesn't feel like tough, hard-fought losses. It feels like bad baseball. What is going on?
Lots of things are going on, Stacy. First, I think it starts with when you don't get – all right, let me start over. When you get consecutive quality starts from a pitcher in Wu, 25 in a row, I believe, something like that, franchise record – you kind of start leaning on that a little bit. But at the same time, eventually those quality starts are going to fall a little bit, and you're going to have some work to do. Last few starts didn't get quality starts. Not bad starts at all, but just not getting into the 6 like you're used to. And the reason why you need him to get into the 6 is so you can help out your bullpen a bit, right? You don't want to see certain names. I'm not going to throw no names out there. The text lines do it all the time, but there's certain names that people just don't feel good when they're on the mound. You're seeing more of those guys because you're not getting these quality starts. And right now, that is the weak link of your pitching staff is the bullpen. And now you combine that with the up and down of a Castillo, with Logan kind of coming around as of late, with Miller still trying to figure something out. It's just the arms haven't been consistent, especially the last couple of weeks. I think that's where you have to start. When you put up 5 runs, you should be in the game. Put up 5 runs yesterday, you are in the game. It's something that's hurting these guys in the box too. Is just runners in scoring position. They are one of the worst. I heard it on the morning show, Brock and Salk. Batting average isn't a stat that people like to lean on, but when you're looking at runners in scoring position, I think it is a good stat to lean on. When runners are in scoring position, the Mariners are the worst team in baseball. Either the worst, like bottom two, when it comes to batting average. That means they're not getting on base, they're not driving runs in. It's just not very good baseball at that point. So there are some deficiencies everywhere. Offensively, runners in scoring position. When it comes to the arms, it's not getting deep into games so you can give your bullpen some relief and not seeing some of their arms that you just don't want to see. So there's a lot of things going on. But then if you look at I said this earlier, you look at their numbers on the road. Offensively, they are better on the road. They're putting up their slashes better. They're putting up more runs. They're striking out less. But if you don't have a good defense, your offense isn't going to mean anything.
They're the Mariners. That's why. Boring answer. Look, I say that kind of thing just along with all of you. Like, I definitely can sometimes dip into that doomerism, or can sometimes, it's almost like a cruel, funny irony where you go, oh, this is so Mariner. I totally get it. I do the exact same thing. I'm asking for an actual baseball observation, because the way I look at it, the Mariners as a franchise have not typically succeeded for a lot of reasons, but I do think there are overarching reasons. They're not very aggressive in free agency. They do not spend a lot, and they don't take a ton of risks. They've made some bad trades. They've made bad moves before. Like, I think there are overarching reasons that have led to them struggling the same way that, let's say, there are teams that spend a lot that have had superstars go through, and maybe they found more success, whatever. This year, this is, to me, one of the better Mariners teams on paper that I can remember watching. I grew up here. I've seen some really good teams, but like Curtis, you're from here as well. I would say this is like the best offense since 2015.
It's been a long time.
And a much more complimentary pitching staff where it's not quite as top heavy. Like, it's been a minute. It had been since 2015 that they had an all-star starter, but then it was Nelson Cruz. This time it's Cal Raleigh. I mean, this is on paper a good team. 6 players have 20 or more home runs. 2 guys fighting for a 30-30 season. You're not leading the league. You're a top 5 team in home runs. You're like a top 5 team in stolen bases. Those numbers have gone down a little bit, but you are a better offense than you were last year. What's the baseball reason? I think that the most common answer, which you're actually thinking about it and looking at it outside of just we're the Mariners, is pitching isn't as good this year. Why? What's happening? No, really. Why?
Because it happens that way sometimes, because you've been so blessed with health, with performance when it comes to this rotation, and we talked about it for years. Eventually, they are going to slow down. Eventually, guys are going to get hurt. Eventually, you're going to have a year where you don't perform to the level that you did a couple years ago or even last year. That's just human nature. That is sports. You don't have the number one offense in the NFL every single year. It was Kansas City for a while. Last year, who was it? Was it Baltimore, I believe, and the Bills? Even the Broncos got into the mix. Not one of the top ones, but there's always some shuffling going on. Why? Because of human performances. Because elbows get tight. Because forearms get sore. Because lower bodies have lactic acid in it. Because there are so many variables in this. So when you do have the luck of health and longevity, you don't want to waste it. So now what do? You bolster your roster. You add Naylor, you get Gino, you got Julio playing good ball. You're having a magical season from Cal Raleigh, and the other side of the ball are being human beings and struggling a little bit right now. That is the beautiful dance of sports, is that it's all about timing and luck. And right now, the timing and luck just doesn't feel the way it did.
Brian Wu talked about the timing that they've had when it comes to failure over the last couple summers.
You just got to take accountability for it. I mean, at this point of the year, you can make all the excuses you want. You just got to play better. You got to be better. You got to have more urgency. I think all the guys in the locker room, especially the guys that have been there the last couple of years, are sick and tired of the last couple of years of what have happened in August and September, and it's up to us to flip the script. And
it's up to them to flip the script, but they know what the script is. Hear me out. Theory that I'm just thinking right now. Is it possible that repeatedly failing puts you in a failure loop? Like you're you see and feel your team let itself down, run into trouble, not overcome things, and then you start to believe that'll happen and you get in a loop. And I'm not saying players can't work themselves out of that mindset. I'm not saying that players don't have a really rare ability to compartmentalize things. What I am saying is I think sometimes teams need to win to believe they can win, and this is a team that hasn't won or gotten to the playoffs often.
I coached with a head coach who the program kind of resembled what the Mariners are. You get to a certain point, something bad happens, and you start to believe in it. And I'll never forget, we're on the sideline, and he says, "Come on, fellas, not again." I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you even put that doubt in their head? You know why? Because everyone's thinking it. Everyone is thinking it. And Woo's the first one to come out and be like, yeah, man, we're sick and tired of this. Because he's thinking it. He's feeling it. The guys in the batter's box are feeling it. You can't ignore it. You've been on this team for 3 or 4 years. You're a Julio, you're a JP, you're a Cal. This is the same story. So it's impossible not to think, oh, my God, this is going to happen to us again. It's impossible not to think that. But once you get through it a couple times, then you start to change it. My fear is that they might not get through it. So then every year you're searching, you're trying to get through it. And as the years go by, the arms get older, the bat speed slows down, and you start trying to make moves to combat this attrition and how things happen. So they feel it, they think it, and Woo is the first person that I've heard in the last 3 years actually come out and put it out there.
I think playoff experience makes a difference in the playoffs. Maybe it's being familiar with the atmosphere. Maybe it's having overcome things in really high-pressure situations, like you said. So I would think the opposite would be true, too, that a lack of playoff experience, though a lot of guys here did go in 2022, but an overall lack of playoff experience, a lack of consistently making the playoffs, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of answers here. I think part of it is that pitching, like anything, and you talked about bodies just being, driving so much of this, that bodies change and bodies regress or bodies adapt or they do whatever, that pitching can be volatile. Pitching was better last year than it is this year with the exact same pitchers because they had great years last year, and this year they just aren't as good. It's the same guys. Some of them had weird starts to the season, like George Kirby, who had a late start. Miller landed on the IL twice. Gilbert obviously landed on the IL. It's been a weirder year for them, but it's the same group. They're all there right now. As far as we know, they're pretty healthy, and they're just not what they were last year. Okay, so there's some natural moving there with performances, but your offense is better. If I were to draw up a team last year, it would be, well, one side can be average as long as the other side is pretty good. Your offense has a chance to be pretty good. They are a little home run dependent, but overall a chance to be pretty good. You need your pitching to be better, period. That is a fact. You are not getting to a World Series. You're not making a deep playoff run. You may not get to the playoffs without your pitching being better. But this should be a playoff team. They are good enough to be a playoff team. It's really hard for me, Bump, not to think part of it is, as much as you can try to control it, that part of it isn't mental.
I'm done with saying what this team should be. This team is exactly what they show us when they show it to us. At some point, this was a good team competing for the division. At some point this year, this was a team that was letting the division slip away. At some point, this team had a rotation that hadn't had their 5 guys all play together because of injury. So what they've shown us is that they're just inconsistent. They're one of the most talented, inconsistent teams in the game right now. The talent is there. But if you haven't been to the playoffs in 3 seasons, then why should we throw should in front of it? This is a team that's capable. That's what I'm going to start saying, capable. Should, they ain't proving nothing to me. They should be exactly who they are. An inconsistent team because that's what they've shown with the capabilities of putting it together and getting to the playoffs. And so I'm done using should. I'm not using that word with them anymore.
In what ways can confidence, though, or a belief that you should affect how you play? Like I'm thinking of, for instance, a listener said, is it possible that they're pressing? And I'm thinking, okay, imagine that I'm a Mariner. Imagine I'm Cal going up 2 outs, bases loaded. I know I'm talented. I've hit 51 home runs this year. I just hit one a couple innings ago. But right now what I'm feeling, and I'm not Cal. I don't know how Cal feels, but it's hard not to inject myself. Right now what I would be feeling is, I know my approach. I'm confident in my swing. I'm confident in myself, but man, we need to win. Like it's hard. you start to think, are we going to do this again? Like, how do you keep that from getting into your
don't.
head? Of
You're
course
human.
it changes.
You're human.
Of course it changes things.
Yeah, it does. But the good teams, the good players find a way to push through it. And someone has to lead the charge with that. Gino's been playing good ball as of late. Julio's been playing good ball as of late. But what the guys do in the batter's box, I don't think is because they're not directly connected to the arms, right? They're not connected to the arms. It's not like their performance affects the arms. You know, it's like the guys on offense can put together at bats. Boom, single here, bam, single there, bam, drive a run here, sack fly there. They're connected. And then you sit back and you just watch the guy on the mound by himself. It's just him and the catcher and say, all right, you guys go ahead and do it. And that's what makes baseball different than most sports is because guys don't play offense and defense. Even in football, you feel a bit more connected because they're literally giving you the ball, you know? Defense makes a stop. We're going to give you the ball inside the 20. Like, we got you. Or the offense. And we're going to chew up so much clock that you guys don't have to defend for that long. In baseball, it's all right. Now it's up to you. You go ahead and get her done. So it's up to the pitchers and the catchers to get together and kind of do their thing. Offensively, connect at bats, be better with runners in scoring position, keep hitting your bombs because that's who you are at this point. Don't change who you are when it comes to that sense, but when you got guys on base, you got to be able to drive them in. They're one of the worst in the game at that.
We know the numbers we want to see. Is there a difference in body language or anything you want to see? You said I just want to see fight. Like I want to see, what did you say? I want to see
intensity.
Like intensity.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like?
What does it look like?
Maybe like
it's
Logan
more like body language.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like it's more like stepping into the box and me feeling like you think you're gonna get this done, and you can't change your personality. I don't expect Julio to stop smiling. I don't expect Cal to just become more vocal all of a sudden. But as an athlete, you can feel intensity. You could feel confidence. And a lot of times this year, especially as of late, I just don't feel that anymore.
Hawks Live is back for another season, and you can join Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. at Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and a preview of this week's game against the 49ers, plus a visit from Gray Zabel. That's tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Bellevue Square Center Court. It's a free event. Learn more at seattlesports.com/events. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what career high would you love to see on Sunday?
Clint Kubiak is here to change this offense, to highlight Sam Darnold, to put these offensive linemen in great position, and to run the dang football. Ken Walker, 29 rush attempts in 2023 for 114 and 1 touchdown against the Rams. I would love to see that number from him. I love to see it. Maybe even a combine between him and Zach Charbonnet around 36 carries. But if Ken Walker has 29 attempts, I'm good. He had 26 attempts in 2023 against the Cardinals for 109 and 2 touchdowns, and then 25 attempts against the Rams in 2024 for 83 yards. I just want to see stubbornness. If Ken Walker is starting, if he is healthy, and he is touching the rock that many times, that means things are good. That means that other things are going to be set up as well. Ken Walker needs to have a career high when it comes to attempts. Probably not likely because he ain't been practicing. He ain't been out there. And what coaches do is if you haven't been out there servicing your football team during the week, they're going to be reluctant to give you the football that many times on the weekend. But what if he gets in a groove? What if he's starting to see the lanes? What if he breaks off a big one? What if the pass game is opening up because of that? I think if Ken Walker can show early that he's healthy and ready to go, he'll get a bunch of attempts. But career high, Ken Walker gets 30 rush attempts on Sunday. I'll be a happy camper.
My fantasy football will be a happy camper.
You drafted him?
Yeah, can I also say, yes, I did a fantasy. I'm in 2 for the first time in a long time. I always do 1. And the league that I'm in now is the smallest league I've ever been in with 8 teams. I know some of you all are on leagues that have 8 teams. Everyone's team is stacked.
Yeah.
Like even like the guys on the bench are going to be starting somewhere.
Yeah, 8 teams.
It's crazy.
Hella talent.
Second down. What other indicator will you be looking for with the Seahawks offense that shows a commitment to change?
All right, so the first indicator I'm looking at, snaps under center. In 2024, Seahawks had 30% of their snaps under center, 70% in shotgun. The New Orleans Saints, where Kubiak was, 48% under center, 52% shotgun. Nice balance there. I'm going to be looking at that. Also, personnel groupings. All right, 12 personnel, so that is 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Seahawks had the 24th least, or they were 24th when it comes to that. So right there around, I forget the percentage, but they didn't do it much. New Orleans were 12th in the league. Also, 21 personnel, so 2 running backs, 1 tight end. The Seahawks were 21st. The New Orleans Saints were 4th. So I want to see some mixing up there. And then 11 personnel in the red zone. So 1 tight end, 1 running back. New Orleans, 31st most. They did that a lot in the red zone. I want to say, 31st least. So they were towards the bottom when it comes to that. That means they packed it in. The Seahawks were 16th. So I'm going to look at personnel groups. I'm going to look at situations in the red zone and see how they decide to attack it, because I feel like, and I think most people who watch the Seahawks feel that as well, Hawks got to get better in the red zone, and they have to commit to the run. So if you give Ken Walker 29 attempts, if you are under center 48 to 50% of the time, if you are mixing up your personnel groups, especially in the red zone, those are going to be indicators that this offense is doing something different. So yeah, let's get that going.
3rd down, almost went to 4th down, jumping the gun. What rookie will make the biggest play on Sunday?
I'm connecting everything to K9 today.
Okay.
Everything to the run. So if the run game is getting going, if K9 is getting his attempts, if the Seahawks are under center, that was the 2nd down, and if the personnel groups are being mixed up, especially in the red zone, maybe you get some 21 or some 22 or whatnot personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, then that means that the tight end group should be able to make some big plays. So I'm going to look at Arroyo. I think when it comes to running the football or run after the catch with the tight ends, Arroyo has that thing all covered up. So I'm looking at Arroyo to make some big plays. He might not even have the best day. It might be Horton with 5 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown. It might be Imaware defending George Kittle and looking good there. It might be Gray Zabel not giving up any type of pressure. But the splash play, the big play, I'm going to look at the tight end group. And I'm going to go with Arroyo. I think A.J. Barner is capable as well. But Arroyo is the one who can get busy with the football in his hands. So I'm going to go with him.
Do you think the tight end group for Seattle as a whole is underrated? It's really not getting a lot of attention at all. And on the one hand, you can't blame anyone. There aren't big names. There's not first-round picks. There's not really well-known veterans. A.J. Barner's probably going to be your starter with Arroyo behind him, but I know that you're really excited to see this group.
No, I like the group, and I think Eric Sauber is going to be good as well. His career stats aren't going to impress you. They don't jump off the screen, but I've watched him during training camp. I watched him during the games. He's a gritty type of receiver, or tight end, excuse me. He'll block. He'll receive the football. I think this group is better than expected. A.J. Barner's going to lead the charge. He should lead the charge. He's been here for a while. But A.J. and Elijah can be a nice 1-2 combo. You look at Andrews and Likely over there with the Ravens. That's a good combo there. The Bills have a good combo as well. But no one's as young as these two here. So I think that they can grow together, blossom together, and do their thing.
4th down. I'm sure you recognized his voice, obviously. We were just joined by NFL Red Zone Scott Hanson. Anything stand out from our conversation with him?
2 things. Well, a lot of things stand out. You listen to Scott Hanson talk, right?
Yeah.
But 2 things that I wrote down. The pass interference on punt is crazy to me.
That was wild.
And then someone brought up a good point. A texter said, well, what if you hold? Right? You can be called for holding. Go, yeah, because that's not pass interference. The football's in the air and you're grabbing your guy. Obviously, they're going to call holding. So what you do is you make a play on the football, and as you make a play on the football, you smack the receiver at the same time. You're going to get pass interference. All is going to be well. You just can't blatantly tackle the person and pull it to the ground and hold them. And the second thing, so I'm going to be in the studio this weekend for CW with Mike Yam. And listening to Scott just got me fired up. I go, I got to bring that type of energy on a Saturday for CW. I got to be myself. I'm not going to be Scott Hanson. I'm not that energetic, I guess. But just hearing how he prepares and how he's putting on 7 hours on a weekend. Your boy will probably do, well, this is a long day for me. I'll be off at 10:45. So I'll be in the studio for like 7 hours, but I'm only going to be on TV for like maybe 2 hours or something like that. So, yeah, I got to bring some Scott Hanson this weekend. He's inspired me and also taught me something about pass interference on punts.
You know, I will say, don't sell yourself short, though, because your primetime football, weekday football coverage for the Seahawks, you have 4 hours of a show with us, and then you do 6 hours of Seahawks radio.
Yeah.
If my math checks out, that's 10 hours of radio.
That's yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, Scott was absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited for Red Zone to start. And we don't always get to actually sit and experience it because obviously the Seahawks play and we're at the stadium. But man, do I love it when the Seahawks have a Thursday night, a Monday night, and you get to watch Red Zone that weekend. It's the best.
It is the best.
Just an all-time classic. Guess the most popular question that listeners had for Scott Hanson that I did not ask.
I was going to ask him.
I'm so
When
glad.
does he use the restroom?
That's the multiple people
That's
texting
real.
in. When does he go to the bathroom? Ask him when he goes to the bathroom.
Well, guess what? Commercials this year, so he'll have time to go to the bathroom.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sad
So
about
disappointing.
that. I didn't want to
I was
ask
so
Scott about
disappointed.
that.
I didn't want to
He's
ask him.
Well, I know that he was asked about it before. So he was on with Pat McAfee earlier and said that there would be commercials this year. He was asked about it with Rich Eisen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not going to ask him again. And I know you felt that way because it's like he's already said, I have no control over this.
He's the talent.
We already have his answer.
He doesn't control commercials or whatnot.
But now he'll have time to go to the bathroom.
Plenty of time.
So hopefully not too much time.
Well, 7 hours, and they're doing full commercial breaks. He's going to have at least 3 breaks per hour.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss commercial-free Red Zone.
Me too.
But I still love that Red Zone's back. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners try to get back on track against the Rays for this series finale. Pregame starts at 3:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports. First pitch coming your way at 4:35. Coming up next, it's UW Wednesday. Seattle Times' Mike Vorel joins us.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts are flying. They better re-sign you.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Paid for by Hanson Hers Health. Hanson Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At forhers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/radio. forhers.com/radio.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Washington Wednesdays, presented by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Washington 1-0 to start the season. Seattle Times' Mike Vorel joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Mike, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Let's look back at that first win before looking ahead for the Huskies. Defense struggled against the run. We're able to adjust, though. What did you see them do, and what did they say about those early struggles?
Yeah, it's one of those things that was a little bit disconcerting, where obviously that was a situation last season in conference play. You know, this looked like a Washington team that just couldn't quite stand up physically to its opponents, got ran over by Iowa on the road, and of course against Oregon, against Penn State. So that was a big issue coming into this season. And, you know, you had a running back in Jalen Dupree for Colorado State who ran for 92 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, who really had some consistency, particularly in the first half. And I think talked to Ryan Walters, UW's defensive coordinator, and he was just saying that, you know, they obviously it's the first game of the season. I think they threw a bunch of looks at them that they weren't necessarily expecting. They had to kind of adjust off of that. But obviously that's going to be kind of the measure of this team. Can they continue to improve physically up front on both lines of scrimmage? And if they can't do that, then it's going to be a struggle to make big strides in 2025.
Hey, who does this team want to be? 226 through the air, 283 on the ground. Obviously, you have Jonah Coleman coming back off a 1,000-yard season. What does Williams present as far as throwing the rock, and what do you think? Who do you think this team wants to be offensively?
I think they want to be pretty balanced. You know, you talk about DeMond Williams Jr., and of course he is a dual threat, and he is electric. He's one of the more elusive runners you're going to see in that position. But he also, you know, he completed 78% of his passes last season as a true freshman. He completed 75% of his passes on Saturday. He is an accurate passer. He has made good decisions. He only threw one interception last season. I think he is a guy who can spread the ball around. They love Jonah Coleman, like you said, big senior back who's more elusive than he looks at, 229 pounds, or just a big bowling ball running there. So I think they really like their balance there. And whether you might look at DeMond Williams and think, okay, this is going to be either high flying or, try and use his legs a lot. I think they want to be able to spread the ball around and get some quick completions and run Jonah Coleman and be able to get him in a rhythm.
You mentioned that the theme for you watching them is going to be that they absolutely need to improve physically up front. Completely agree. To you, though, is there room for improvement, or does it feel like you're going to have to kind of out-scheme, outplay, lean into, your wide receiver talent, whatever it is, to kind of make up for a lack of talent there?
Yeah, I definitely think they've improved, but the question is like how much different the bar is this year, because last year the bar was on the floor. You had a situation where Kalen DeBoer left, and along with him, pretty much the entire offensive line left, either to the NFL draft or to the transfer portal. They had 7 offensive linemen available in the spring last year, so you couldn't even run multiple teams of scholarship guys. It's just an unheard of situation for a Big Ten team to have those kind of numbers. Obviously, they kind of pieced it together, but when it came down to it, they couldn't protect the passer when they needed to. They couldn't run the ball when they needed to. Now you look at them this year, they've got a lot more guys. They've got a lot more, height and weight and depth. The question is it quality depth? Are they at that level yet where they can run the ball when they want to and when they need to? They ran the ball really well last week, but you're doing that against a Colorado State team that obviously is in the Mountain West. But even so, Jonah Coleman runs for 177 yards, 7 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. They want to be able to do that, and they are better than last year, but they were always going to be better than last year. The question is, how much better are they?
What expectations do you have for this team this year when it comes to this end results and the fans? Because you had, according to 24/7 Sports, the 23rd ranked recruiting class, so not too shabby. What should fans expect this year?
Yeah, I think, of course, fans naturally, they want the leap. And, I wrote about this, but UW has shown the possibility to do just about anything in the coach's second season, where you had Kalen DeBoer's second season, and all of a sudden they go to a national championship game and they take that massive leap, and they've got all these draft guys. And then you look at Jimmy Lake's second season, and he's fired halfway through it, and there's, a ball of flames on Montlake. And so, I mean, you see the wide range of possibilities. I think, it's a talented team. It's still a team that has, I think, physical limitations when you're looking at, matching up against Ohio State and, the Penn State, theoretically, Oregon, some of the top tier of the Big Ten. I think that this should be an 8-win team. Maybe it stretches to a 9-win team if they take care of business. They also need to prove that they can win on the road. They didn't do that at all last season in Big Ten play. You're asking these guys last year to go to Rutgers on a Friday night. You're trying to figure out the logistics of that. Can they do that this year? Can they steal a game or two on the road? They're going to have to do that. So I think it's an 8-win team, and it should be, and that would be progress, but they have to prove that.
Yeah, that Ohio State game is making me real nervous. I know they got UC Davis and the Cougs, which is always going to be weird to me on September 20th before they get to Ohio State, but a little bit nervous. Outside of adding like $20 million in NIL deals, what can the Huskies show you over the next 2 games to at least give you a little bit of, I don't want to say confidence against the Buckeyes, but like, how do they best put up a fight? I know it's in a couple weeks here, but...
Yeah, it's going to be hard to really project that because it is a UC Davis team that is a highly ranked FCS team, but it's still an FCS team, so they should be able to physically manhandle them. And at this point, the Cougs will be interesting to see because obviously we didn't see a whole lot in their opener against Idaho, what kind of team they are. If you're UW, you'd still love to be able to run the ball consistently against WSU and stop the run. That's kind of going to be the name of the game. And this is a team that has a lot of, its offensive skill players back. It doesn't have a ton of experience back on defense. So when it comes to the defensive line and kind of the depth there, and then also the linebackers, can they consistently stop the run? That's going to be, I think, one of the names of the game. Obviously, they didn't do that great against CSU. I'd like to see them do that for the next couple of weeks because obviously Ohio State's going to bring a physicality into Montlake that they haven't seen.
That's going to be a crazy scene when Ohio State visit Montlake.
It's going to be crazy and scary.
Yeah, for sure. UC Davis beat Utah Tech, the Trailblazers, last week. I didn't watch the game. I'm looking at the numbers here. Nothing really jumps out. Does UC Davis pose any type of threat to UW?
I think anyone poses a threat theoretically. When this is still, I covered the Huskies before becoming a columnist for the last 5 years prior to that. So I remember Montana, stepping into Washington to open the season and winning that game. Obviously, that was a much different Washington team that hadn't recruited nearly as well and was depleted in depth and all this stuff. But UC Davis does have a dual-threat quarterback. They're the fifth-ranked FCS team in the country. Any given Saturday kind of a thing. I think that UW realistically should be able to walk through this game, but they can't afford to have that mindset. Obviously, you've got the Apple Cup on deck, and then you've got Ohio State in a couple of weeks, so it would be easy to look ahead here, but they can't afford to do that. This isn't a Husky team that can afford to take anyone too lightly. I think, like we said, it should be an 8 or a 9-win team, but I also think it's a team that can lose to a lot of guys if they don't bring the right mindset.
Hey, I got kind of a weird, abstract, big picture question. It has to do with, obviously, the changing landscape in college football, and specifically with Washington's place within it. I don't look at Washington the same way I do a school that's going to have to work like your guys. Bump and I have talked about with Wazoo. It's like you'll develop a quarterback, he'll move on. Like, it's so impossible to keep up, and you're just looking at it like punching yourself. Nor do I look at them like an Ohio State or Oregon that's going to have really deep pockets for NIL money. And I just wonder, like, what their place is. You've seen, Mike, so many iterations of cultures come through with different cultures that were implemented by different head coaches. Is there an approach? Is there a lane that Washington can find itself in where they can find as much success as possible in today's landscape?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fascinating to see how they approach the revenue sharing era, because Kalen DeBoer, when he was here, he made it pretty clear, right? They weren't going to throw a lot of money in NIL at the incoming freshmen. They're going to try to get whatever freshmen they could. But when you prove that you can play, they were going to spend money to make you stay. So Michael Penix Jr. comes back for an extra year. Roma Dunze comes back. Troy Fatano comes back. Jalen Polk comes back. Jalen McMillan comes back. Not all because they loved the school, I'm sure they did, but also because strategically they said we're going to invest all of our resources into rewarding our players who are good and convincing them to come back for one more season or not to enter the transfer portal. So, it'll be interesting to see how they allocate revenue sharing in the Jed Fish era. And I think, you're going to have some big tests. If DeMond Williams Jr. is the guy who they think he is, he has a lot of loyalty to Jed Fish. They recruited him since he was a freshman in high school, obviously when they were at Arizona. So they've got those ties. But he's the kind of guy that someone like Ohio State could say, all right, we want you. It's time, and see if they can pluck out of Washington. So can you wrap your arms around that kind of guy and keep him? I think that's going to be the big test that we're going to have to see here in the next couple of years to come.
Well summed up. Washington Wednesday with Seattle Times' Mike Vorel. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, 866-979-3776.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
In the Pacific Northwest, choose Star Rentals for construction equipment. With 18 locations, they deliver superior service and unmatched follow-through. Visit starrentals.com. Star Rentals, the preferred supplier to the West's best contractors. Upgrade your home's energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com. Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Between his hobbies and decades of work in a boatyard, Philip had put his body through a lot.
I'm an avid fly fisherman and an avid skier. It takes its toll.
Not to mention one other thing.
I had a near-fatal motorcycle accident. Absolutely obliterated my lower left leg again.
Philip couldn't live with the pain anymore. So he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Listening to all these radio spots, I said, what do I got to lose?
What was your experience like with Dr. Wagner?
What I was so impressed with Mark about is that how often you have a surgery like this, and the guy calls you the next day to see how you're doing. I can't say enough good things about the guy, honestly.
And how are you feeling now?
I have no pain, none. Zero.
Wow. So would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I'm a fan, believe me. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in from every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
Makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are kicking off their next homestand with a 3-day Logan Gilbert Funko Pop giveaway against the Cardinals, September 8th to 10th. Plus, don't miss the final Mariners fireworks night of the season, September 12th against the Angels, presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is it me, or is it musty?
Oh, damp. Check the bathroom.
Damp! Wait!
Yeah?
I'm ordering damp rid!
Get rid of the damp by trapping excess moisture with Damp Rid.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for what I need to know. 866-979-3776. This has actually been a very popular question over the last several days. Do you think a lineup change for the Mariners is needed?
Why not?
What would it be?
Why not?
Would you not have Randy leading off? Would you have Cal move to third or fourth?
Move Cal to third. Bring up, push Naylor up a little bit. I don't know. Mix it up. I don't know.
You're so
mix it up.
Bumps on a Get Off My Lawn stage today when it comes to the Mariners. Curtis, what would you do to the lineup, if anything? I actually really loved it. When I first saw Rosarena leading off, Cal second, and it was with the addition of Naylor, the addition of Suarez, I was like, I'm digging this. But I absolutely get it.
Yeah, maybe you move Julio up a little higher. Maybe
swap
have him,
Cal back.
Yeah, or maybe have Julio bat leadoff right now. Put Randy at like 2 or something like that, because Julio's been your best hitter over the last month, and you want to get that guy as many at bats as possible.
And he's hit leadoff. He knows, like, it's not unfamiliar territory. He's a great option for it.
I think Cal might be better as a number 3 hitter, but there's just not a whole lot you can do at the top of the order. I think JP's best served at the bottom of the order right now, but everywhere else, I mean, you want Naylor and Gino in the middle of your lineup for sure.
I don't mind Cal third. I did really like him at second. But he talked to Shannon, and he said he appreciates when it's the same lineup and you kind of know what you're going to be and what your responsibility is going to be. Like, you do like that, and you want that as a player. But he did kind of talk around being like, you don't quite see as much when you go up. Like, it's a bit different. Put him back at third.
Put him ninth.
Yeah. Put him ninth. Just a real transition to the top of the lineup. What I need to know, how many sacks for our defense in week 1?
3.
What if there's no Chenna?
1 from Leonard.
Okay.
1 from Boye, 1 from Derek.
Oh, I thought you were going to surprise us with and 1 from Witherspoon on a corner blitz.
Wouldn't be mad at that, though. Would not be mad at that.
What I need to know. I don't have an answer for this one, and I will let you know from the jump. The Mariners need to bolster the bullpen. Any ideas?
They claimed a guy off waivers today. Castillo from the Padres, I want to say. Yeah, Jose Castillo.
Okay, making sure it wasn't
from the
Luis
Mets.
F.
He's a lefty.
Is that the third Castillo in the organization now?
Well, they got rid of Luis F. Castillo.
Oh, F is gone. Weezy F baby's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The answer is the guys they have played better.
Answer is pray the Hancock experiment pans out.
Well, and that Caleb Ferguson gets back to being a little more solid here. The next question was, has the Caleb Ferguson addition been a disappointment since the trade to the Mariners? Initially, I was fine with it. Not only them adding an arm, but wasn't his first outing solid?
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah. I don't remember thinking horrible. I remember thinking, I wish they would have done more.
You know how we always like to daydream about if a Mariner were to be a football player, who would play each position. I feel like Jose Castillo is probably your defensive end. 6'6", 252.
What's he doing Sunday?
He's a brick house.
Yeah. I know they're playing in Atlanta Sunday morning, but is there any chance wrap that game up, get him on a jet? Yeah. How are you feeling? Chenna can't go. What do you think about getting up here? What I need to know. I need a recommendation. What's your opinion for how to best stream as much NFL, NCAA football? What do you do for your football ingestion? I know you're typically working on Sundays, but...
Yeah, it's called get a job at CW and have 10 monitors going at the same time.
Watch 10 monitors at the same time. Exactly.
First, play college football.
Yeah. You're going to start out really young.
I don't know. I get a lot of use out of Hulu Live. I do. They typically have a pretty good selection because they have a sports package I really like. It has Red Zone. I know that's a cop-out. It's just the service that I use that I find has the most options. 866-979-3776. This person said, what I need y'all to know. Did you see that? K9 goes for over 102 of them things.
Speaking my language. Speaking my language. I like that 253. What I need y'all to know. I like that.
Let's see. 866. Someone said Fubo for the football season, hands down.
Got Fubo for Red Zone for my sons.
Yeah, and it's got Fox.
I mean, whatever you can get
CBS,
Red Zone through.
Hulu doesn't have Red Zone, do they?
Hulu Live?
Yeah.
Hulu Live is just like cable.
Does that have Red Zone?
I don't mean to be like an ad. Yeah. Just for the sports add-on. I don't mean to be like an ad for Hulu Live. It's just what I'm used to using.
Be an ad and get that check.
Listen, Hulu Live. And Taco Bell, if you're listening too. I'll endorse you. I'd be happy to. Let's see. This person also co-signing Cal moving back. They said Cal hasn't been great hitting second. I mean, Cal's kind of struggled since July, hitting second or not. I don't know if it's because of hitting second. I think it's just a slump.
It is what it is.
Yeah. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Oh my God, I've just got too many questions about the lineup. It's a pitching problem and not a hitting problem right now, says a texter.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yes.
I agree.
Overwhelmingly.
Yep.
I don't know how to fix that.
You don't.
At this point, you're
can't
just
fix anything.
stuck with what you've got.
Just roll them out there and say, good luck, guys.
Here's the thing. Who thought that on September 3rd last year, we'd be like, at this point, you're just stuck with, I guess, Kirby, Logan, Castillo, Wu, and Miller. You're stuck with that. In terms of the bullpen, yeah, you are stuck.
The only
with what you
thing
got.
that could change in terms of the starting rotation is if Logan Evans comes back healthy at some point between now and the end of the season.
Oh, I don't think they take Castillo out.
I don't think so either, but like that's the only thing that you could change in the starting rotation.
I think your starting rotation's fine. I would take all 5 starters before Hancock or Logan Evans in like a must-win playoff game. I just don't trust the pitching as much as I did last year, which is a bummer, but I'd still be the same priority. I think, too, an underrated part of it is like the guys that you're already counting on. We wanted more high leverage arms out at the deadline. They didn't, but your high leverage arms have also not been like perfect. They've not been great. Like Munoz started out great, struggled a little bit. Brash, we know is great, has struggled a little bit. So those are guys you'd already count on. I want Brash in a high leverage moment in the playoffs. I want Munoz in a high leverage moment. Sometimes they're just not going to hit the mark. But
Brash, Munoz, only 2 I trust right now with my heart.
yeah. All right, you guys, that'll do it for today's show. Thank you again to all of our guests for joining. Mike Vorel joined for Washington Wednesday. If you missed that, it'll be in hour 4 of the Bump and Stacy podcast. Shout out Scott Hanson getting us ready for the start of the NFL season from Red Zone, joining us back at 11, kickoff hour 2 of the podcast. In hour 1, you can listen to Jordan Shusterman talk about the Mariners. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts are flying. They better re-sign him.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license, unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything. Unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection.